You fuckers better control yourselves. You fuckers better control yourselves. You gotta be good. You gotta be good. Alright? You did it to yourself, kinda, yeah. Thank you for the 420, Jenny. Thought that can Ashcorp song reference me instead of you, so here's something for the Hermes purse fund. Oh, well, thank you. Brometti Blank, thank you for the $2. Let's go, champ. Huh. Josh Young, thank you for playing a big PP. Alright. Alright. So. I've prepared some videos. I've prepared some articles. And I've prepared to start off with. Keep things interesting. A Kahoot. So here is a here's the game room. You just go to kahoot.it. Or you can scan the barcode. I'm kind of in the way, but you can just scan the barcode and you can just pop on in. Try to have at least a little bit of appropriate names. I don't really care what you make the name, just know like slurs or whatever, or I'll have to boot you out. Be good. And thank you for the $1. We truly live in the best of possible worlds. Truly. And then in the meantime. Oh my god, the names. Jesus Christ. Not gonna lie, sometimes it's hard not to mention Sus Domesticus. This is gonna go about as well as expected? Yeah. So. Let's start with a little intro to self-defense. Say you encounter a confrontation on the street, right? You are out and about on the street, minding your own business, and you have an aggressor come at you, right? You have an aggressor. What do you do? Chat, what do you do? What is your initial... I just realized the background is really low. I don't know why Kahoot is so quiet. It works as BGM, but it's so quiet. What do you do in this situation? Open fire! No, Chad, no! Jesus! Well, I guess if you're in Texas. Basically, every self-defense situation is different, Chad. There we go. Turn up the background. Every self-defense situation is different! You need to know... Listen, self-defense is not just about knowing what to do in an altercation from a safety standpoint, right? It's not just about immediate safety. It's also about legal safety, right? Because we live in a fucked up world, chat, where if somebody comes at you while you're minding your own business, you're just having a nice little live stream and somebody comes around the corner and starts fighting you. Alright, you need to have legal protection. You need to know what you are and are not allowed to do in a situation, because otherwise, not only might you get your ass beat, or you might get cut up, or whatever. You might get arrested. You might get hit with legal fees. You might have to cover the cost. If you flip the script on them and you beat the shit out of your aggressor, you might have to pay their medical fees. If you go ham on them and you like punch them in the jaw and shit, all right, you break their jaw, you might have to pay for that. It's a fucked up thing, chat, but not just. You gotta know the laws of where you're at, right? You gotta know the laws. That's why you kill them. Well, that's another thing entirely. All right, let's go over some basics. Some of these I didn't even know about. I have a lot of people who are involved in, we'll say, jobs that may or may not require like physical altercations at points throughout the career timeline, right? So, if you're in a self-defense situation, what are some things to look for, right? If you're just in a scuffed altercation, right, and you just need to fight back, right? They don't have a knife, they don't have anything. Let's go over the basic pressure points. Okay. Eyes. All right. You get somebody in the eye, it creates reactionary lag. It is called reactionary lag, and basically what you're doing is you're creating, we'll say like a window of opportunity for you to be able to either get away, to apply another subduing force. Ideally in a situation, you should try and get away. I mean, I'm not as cathartic as it might be to go ham on somebody who just tried to attack you. It's generally not gonna be worth prolonging the altercation. So, eyes, the throat. You can't really see it here. The pig is very fat, but the throat is a common point to hit to. The parotid lymph node, which is back here. Sciatic nerve or knee, so like just above the knee. Shit. And this ankle region, the spot like just above the ankle. Also, groin shots. I know it's very cliche, right? I know it's very cliche, but things, if your attacker is a man, if it's a man, it's not, listen, there's no such thing as fighting dirty. There's no such thing as fighting dirty. When you're in an altercation like this, there is no such thing as fighting dirty. There's no such thing as cheap shots. Alright? Coward move, there's no such thing. Play to win. You're playing to win. Alright? This isn't fucking like MMA boxing match. Alright? This isn't like you're not in the fucking ring with Jake Paul or some shit. Alright? Even if the other person is a streamer, you are attempting to subdue a threat, an immediate threat to your life, potentially. And you need to view it as a threat to your life. You do not... There's no, I'm not supposed to hit people in the back, alright? If you have the opportunity to hit them in the back and subdue them, alright? Do so. Alright? Again, then it gets into like legal things as well. But you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with the legal stuff. Oh my god, people are still joining in. Jesus. I'm gonna catch up on super chats and then we're gonna jump into it. Now that you have like a little basic introduction. Conspiracy Cat, thank you for the $5. Your sister should teach us some Krav Maga. Danny D, thank you for $5. Just act like Tom Cruise. No one messes with someone who's obviously nuttier than a jar of peanuts. That is a tactic. That is a tactic. So assailants, they're gonna be examining you, right? Generally, if this is just like a street mugging or whatever, your assailant is not gonna know who you are, right? Generally. So, erratic body language or coming off as like unhinged, you're placing doubt in that person's mind that you're an easy target. Initially, they might attack you because they think you're an easy target. They might think, oh, you're old, so you're not gonna be able to fight back, or it's a woman, so they're gonna be weaker, right? But you can out charisma these people. Darwin Smith, thank you for becoming a big PP. Fat J, thank you for the 2-1. Let's go, champ. Thank you for 156. Wait, is Pippa giving actual serious self-defense advice? Yes. Indiges, thank you for the $5. Your best self-defense is to holler and grab your purse. Andy Worski, thank you for the 333. In this situation, I stay back. Andy 3, thank you for the $1. We truly live in the best possible worlds. Sam, thank you for the 333. For the sake of argument, if you were to come at me in a public situation and I had to shoot through a crowd of people to defend myself, I'm not going to be happy about the devastation, but I will be happy that I had protected my own life. Unsung Hero, thank you for becoming a big PP. I don't advise ever shooting into crowds. Psyop Cyclops, thank you for becoming a big PP. If you don't take your meds, you won't get robbed. Pippa said so. Atomo, thank you for $2. You really should not be shooting into crowds. Again, I understand, like, the cathartic feeling of getting to fight back against somebody. But you really should not be endangering other people's lives as well. Yeah, do not shoot into crowds. Femboy sticky, what the hell? Okay, I'm gonna start this. 269 people. That's quite a few. That's your opinion. Rubber Soldier, thank you for $10. Pipkin Pippa teaches basic CQC strats against $6 boys. Sweet. Yeah, you hit a bystander, you're fucked. If you hit a bystander, not only do you make the rest of gun owners look bad, but you're also gonna have to deal with the legal consequences of that. And that is a big thing I'd like to stress with self-defense stuff, is it's not worth going a bit too far. Oh.
On this one here, I'll go forward you onto the basic, free basic technique.
Oh god, I forgot there's video. Oh god, I forgot there's video. Oh my god, that was fast. How can you best practice your proper fighting stance? By doing it in front of a mirror. The other options were by asking a friend to correct you and by doing it many times. So, perfect practice makes perfect. What the fuck, Pippa? I missed first answer? I'm sorry. That was way too quick. I think I can slow it down. Or actually, can I slow it down here? I don't know if I can slow it down. I think because I already started it. Too quick! Hold on, should we restart it? And I can slow it down? Because I don't think I can slow it down. This is like a pre-made quiz. Oh. There's a typo in the URL. I think we're doing this one, right? Okay, hold on. Is this in my drafts or recent? Okay, let's edit this real quick. And make it so it lasts a bit longer. I forget how you do that. Hold on. Scuffed moment! Scuffed moment, chats! Because I don't remember how, Can I do it from here? Or how do you... Fuck, that's loud! Is it settings? I don't remember how you make it last longer. Oh, there we go. Time limit. I'm so dumb. Okay, we'll set it to 30 seconds. Is 30 seconds enough? Or is 1 minute better? 30 seconds or 1 minute? You got kicked yet because I'm restarting it. Hide the screen. Why? You guys already know the answer. Okay, play now. Oh my god, it's so fucking loud. Okay, join back in. Jesus Christ, I didn't turn that down. There we go. Does it apply to all the questions? Yes, it should. I think it does. Link, please go to kahoot.it. Oh, go to the mod Discord. Uh-oh. Probably best not to show the names on chat for the next Kahoot. Oh, and enable slow mode. Okay. I don't know how to hide the names. I don't think there's a way to hide the names. I can just drag it like this. Alrighty. What does this have to do with self-defense? So this is a self-defense Kahoot. Right now, I'm just trying to fix things up a bit here. Chat is fucking zooming. How do I enable slow mode? I don't even know. Topical, yeah. I have no idea. Oh, slow mode. Okay, I'm gonna set slow mode to 30 seconds, I guess. Just read faster! Well, it's for the mod, still. Okay. Alright, good to go. Good to go. Alright, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit longer. What's another thing to talk about with self-defense? Oh yeah, let's talk about the legal things a bit more. Let's talk about the legal things. So you might... Okay, listen. It's never worth... If you're in a self-defense situation... Alright. I'm not saying... Jesus Christ, you finally made a good decision. Shut up. I'm not saying it's worth... worrying about the legal stuff if it is. Like a, Like, don't fucking break out your phone and look it up and be like, oh... What are the laws in my area to protect myself, alright? But don't grab your phone, don't fuck with your phone, alright? That includes calling the police, alright? Do not, if somebody comes up to you, you do not take fucking, not even like a minute, alright? You don't even take a minute to pick up your phone and call the police, alright? You call the police when you know you are safe and you are away from the danger. Why not? Because if you pick up your phone and you're threatening this person, I'm gonna call the police, alright? You're gonna sit there, you're gonna fuck with your phone, you're gonna try and like get it, you're gonna try and like dial 911 and everything. While you're doing that, you are presenting an opportunity for your assailant to come at you. You don't know how long it's gonna... Yeah, do not give them an opening. Wait 2 hours for the police. That is another thing. The police are gonna take way too long to get to you. The police might get to you in 5 minutes, and in that 5 minutes, the person could have already charged you with a knife. You could already have had your throat slit, you're lying dead, alright? Then what's gonna happen? It's too late. Yeah, police clean up the mess. 15 minutes at the fastest, yeah. It is... Holy, 5 minutes is fast. That's like the... If you're in like a busy like street or whatever, right? And there's police nearby. That's like best case scenario. And even then, 5 minutes in an altercation like that, life or death. Alright, I'm gonna hit start. And I need to shrink this back down. Learn long distance sprinting. Oh my god. Let's go! Alright, so first question again. How can you best practice proper fighting stance?
On this one here, I'll go forward you onto the three basic technique you can use into the...
Oh my god, zoom in. So by doing it in front of a mirror, by asking a friend to correct me, by doing it many times. I need to like shrink myself, I guess. It's just shapes. You have to look at the questions on the screen. The answer on the screen. Maybe I should shrink it a bit. There we go. Ah! Professional streamer. Okay. By doing it in front of a mirror. This one I'm kind of iffy on. I didn't make this quiz. I think by doing it many times is also a good one, and by asking a friend to correct me is also a good one. The thing is, I see where they're coming from with this. By doing it many times, perfect practice makes perfect. So, if you're doing it correctly over and over, that's gonna help. But if you're not, like, examining your form and everything, if you're not, paying attention to what you're doing, it can be a detriment. By asking a friend to correct me, your friend might not have proper knowledge of self-defense techniques. I'm sure they might be a great friend and everything, and they might have an idea of what they're doing, but ideally, you would practice in front of an instructor to get techniques from them. And by doing it in front of a mirror, I guess it's just a bit self... I really don't feel like any of these are particularly great, but... God damn. Watame, Mike Honey, and Sneed61. 1,000 points. You guys answered instantly. Why is footwork necessary? Because you said so? Because driving a car with no wheels? Because we need strong legs. Watame winning. I will say one thing. During an altercation, worrying about form should not be the top of your priority. It is important, but... What the fuck? No time to answer! There's 30 seconds! thought form should not be your biggest thing. Did that not have... Did that not do... That was 10 again? It was 10 again? Fuck, man. I'm not doing it again. We're just gonna keep going through. I don't know why it's not, Can I... There's autoplay, two-step join, player identifier. Man, I don't know why it's so short. Godspeed! Delay stream? I can't do that from here. Yeah, just be fast. How many punches should you be able to do non-stop to be comfortable with it? 150? 600? 100? There you go. Practicing it 100 times. I think it's a per question basis, I guess. I'll alter the next one. So yeah, learning, again, proper form, proper technique. What do you have to remember when doing a cross punch? To turn your hips, to look at your opponent, or to reach for the target? This is weird made up stuff? This is from an actual self-defense class. To turn your hips. I don't actually know fancy terminology like this. These are not self-defense questions. They're from a self-defense class! What is the best way to practice punches? Practice with a heavy bag and actual opponent just in front of the mirror into the air. Practice with a heavy bag. See, this one, I feel like an actual opponent would be better. These are just opinions, I guess. Scuffed one. There's multiples of these, though. This whole class is a ripoff! Yeah, I guess it is, man.
That's it. That's
what are the areas using?
That's what I want.
Front kick to strike? What? Head and chest, chest and stomach, all of them. You need technique? You'll hurt yourself? What if you use a person like a punching bag? I guess you could. I guess you could. You could use a human being like a punching bag. This is BS. I have another one. Let's just get through this one and we'll go on to the next one. I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for today's stream, as you can probably tell. What happens when you... Oh, what happened when I kicked your opponent? Oh my god, Scuff. What happens when I kicked your opponent? This doesn't even make any sense. What the fuck? This doesn't even make any sense, man! ESL! Fucking ESL, man! ESL, please. What parts of the leg should you kick? Here you go! Shin, foot, or knee! That is not what I was taught. This Kahoot is fucking rigged. This Kahoot is bullshit. I was taught you kick the shin, man. I was taught you kick the shin for the fucking pressure point. This Kahoot is bullshit, chat. This Kahoot is bullshit. Man. Oh, kick with. Oh, I guess, yes, you kick with your foot. When you are kicking somebody, you kick them with your foot. Did you not vet this Kahoot? It was the top-rated self-defense Kahoot. I didn't think I needed to. What is one of the benefits? One of the mentioned benefits of self-defense: stress reduction, privilege to show off your skills, ability to break bricks. What? I mean, all of those. This one sucks. This is the top-rated self-defense Kahoot. I thought things were fine, man. Yeah, this is top quality. I need to drag this down. Welcome to the Scuff Zone, chat. There we go. This is the first thing you've learned. Well, we didn't take the class. Don't follow these tips, you're gonna end up dead! Well, that one fucking sucked. That one fucking sucked, dude. This fucking sucked. Whoever wrote this is a corpse. Whoever wrote this gets paid to write books. Whoever whoever wrote this gets paid to write books. I'm convinced. Okay, so here's another one. Self-defense reveal. I think this is the other one I looked at. Oh wait, there's also this one. I think this is the one that I actually did look over. And it looked pretty good. So I'm gonna fuck with this. Oh, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Okay, so this person actually like fucking... Let's put it up to 30 seconds. Can we just... I wish we could just do that for all of them super easily. Kahoot is one of those really scuffed programs. Oh, but you guys are seeing all the answers! Never mind, you only get 20 seconds. Fuck you. The answers, man! Professional streamer! Hold on, I'm gonna edit it again. Okay, there we go. I cropped the answers. What the fuck, Pippa? I never said I was intelligent, goddammit! Man, there's a lot of conflicting information out there about self-defense. But I'd advise you, if you're gonna, in my personal experience, if you're gonna learn self-defense from anybody, I'd really recommend, like, cops, right? Like, instead of these people that get paid to teach self-defense courses and shit, I really recommend cops for sources of information for self-defense. Because they are in, like, actual life or death situations, right? It's not, well, pop in here. Oh, and I should crop it so we can't see names again. Like, say what you will. Say what you will. Alright, I'm not gonna get into, like, the reliability of feds and shit. But what I am saying is that generally they tend to know the laws at least somewhat, at least more than... They have more in-field experience. They have more field experience, more actual practical experience. And they, in general, have a general idea of the laws. You should still look up the laws in your area just to be safe, because not all cops do know the law. Most cops do not know the law. I will say that point blank. I feel like most cops do not understand the law. They do not need to know the law, alright? They are just trained to do specific things. They uphold the law, but let's be realistic here, alright? A lot of them don't know shit about the law. If they did, we wouldn't have channels like Audit the Audit and shit, so... But! It's a great starting point, alright? It's a great starting point for getting an idea what to do in self-defense situations. And yeah, I feel like a lot of these people, I feel like a lot, like especially like they say shit like karate, right? There's shit like karate where it's like, oh, learn how to defend yourself in fucking like fucking like Karate Kid style, right? But it doesn't actually, it doesn't... Pippa's calling. We're not gonna... Oh my god, some of these names that are popping up. Karate is for show, yeah. A lot of these sports kind of things, like karate and kung fu and mixed martial arts and shit, alright? It's just for show. It's for sport. It is for sport. It is not for self-defense. They will advertise it to you as being for self-defense, because that is what will sell spots in their classes. Alright? MMA is actually good though. I feel like if you have a very reputable school, maybe. But the problem is you have all these pop-up shops, right? Where you get these people that they're just looking to run a business. They're looking to run a business. Lol, notice it? I don't know about the MMA. I just think in general, these things are... that sort of thing is better to avoid. Alright. Go to people with actual experience. Actual field experience. What are the 3 A's in self-defense? Attitude, amazing, active, attention, awareness, attitude, awareness, ability, athletic, alert. Just a reminder, do not take advice from a rabbit. And you know what? That's fair. That is fair. Irving, thank you for the $2. I only do Rex Kwando Pippers. Now, to one of us, thank you for $2. I think you could actually recommend Mr. Brownka. I don't know. Mr. Yara, thank you for $2. Paul Harrell, watch along win. FC Playthroughs, 619. Technically, if we take this advice and we get beaten up, we could probably have a case to sue you. I'm not giving you legal advice. Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling are unironically the best to learn self-defense. Most self-defense situations will not be boxing matches. Core, thank you for becoming a big PP. So, attitude, awareness, ability. Attitude, you need the... Fuck. I'm gonna break my microphone stand. The disclaimer came a bit late! No, it didn't! No, it didn't! The 3 A's are arrest him, and arrest him. So, I feel like in general, it's good to be athletic, right? It's good to be alert, but alertness ties into awareness. I feel like those two are kind of interchangeable. So, attitude, awareness, ability. So, attitude, your mental state going into the situation. Awareness, being perceptive of your surroundings and what being aware of your assailant, like whether or not they have a weapon, if there's anything you can use to defend yourself in a situation. And ability, so I guess like your own abilities, like whether or not you're trained in something or... Yeah, I guess. We did a lot of practical, traditional stuff. Contemporary wushu, as my shifu said, looks good, but isn't useful. We had a separate class specifically for performance show. Attitude, don't care. Which techniques require you to strike down with the bottom of your fist? Palm, heel, strike, hammer fist, spear, hand push, or wrist grab, release? MM0, thank you for becoming big people. Some Krav Maga stuff? I don't know shit about Krav Maga, man. I don't know shit about it. Somebody said to ask my sister. Is it like a Jewish thing? Hammer fist. Dun, 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 dun. Can we watch like a demonstration? Hammer fist. Oh.
Hey guys, Nick Drosos here.
Loud!
I'm going to be teaching you a great first strike, and that's a hammer fist. So
this guy is fucking
the important thing about, you know, launching and striking and using the hammer fist is the way you're going to set it up. If I'm faced with my attacker, I'm not going to do this. By the time I do this, he's going to flinch, move, either step in or duck his head. It's not going to be as effective. So when you're doing a hammer fist, what you want to do, you want to set it up this way. This was probably one of the most common stance I would have working as a doorman in a club. So when I'm talking to the person that I'm facing, one foot is, you know, I have a 50%
military service is
weight
mandatory, so
distribution.
your sister can really teach us.
arm
Oh
is
my god, we should do a collab with
This
her
one
on
is
that.
over here. Why? Because I can hit here, I can block, I can strike, and if I decide to strike, I would hammer fist. So the hand would leave, as the hand would leave,
Frivolous Dolls, thank you for the becoming big pippy.
use my hip and come in and strike. So I wouldn't, at no point, move back. From here, hand leaves, body follows, and I'm hitting to the bridge of the nose. Even if he flinches and I hit the jaw or his chin or the top of the head, I'm still going to do a lot of damage. But what you don't want to do is try to hammer fist from here. So let's say I'm faced with my attacker.
Too long. Shut up! Yeah, it's time to learn, Chad. Shut the fuck up.
My hand is here,
I don't know this shit.
so
I don't know all
at any
these
point
techniques.
He decides to throw a strike with this arm or go left or go right. But at some point I'm about to strike, I'm talking to him. The instant I decide to strike, so I'm here, I'm trying to defuse.
What the fuck?
So the hand leaves, as it leaves, I'm torquing with all
Wow.
my body.
Okay, the shit that I was taught, right? The shit that I was taught was just like more basic stuff that doesn't rely on like like the power like this. I guess I was taught things like taking like if somebody puts their hands on you, right? Taking their pinky and you like bend it back over their wrist. And it it's like a very easy to access weak point. It doesn't require a lot of strength or anything, and it's a good way to get like the upper hand, the pinky bend. That's for children. Shut up. A wushu finger hold. Is that what it's called?
So you can see, guys, there's a lot of power behind this. And the
I was
most
not working
important
on a
thing is
man.
to not be telegraphic. So as the hand leaves, body follows, and I'm going right into the bridge of the nose.
Because that's about as strong as a child. Shut up!
In reality, once you
It's not about strength, it's about awareness!
The other hand comes up. I step in right away with the strikes.
What the
So
fuck?
as this one comes in, he's either gonna double over, he's either gonna flinch. As soon as I do that first strike, I follow with the pump strikes with the elbows.
What the hell is it doing?
I need to get out as quickly as possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to learn more.
Dude, he looked like he was about to make out with that mannequin. What the fuck? Say no more, Fernando. I know our relationship must be kept a secret. It is forbidden.
Step in right.
Rainbows in chat, please. Rainbows in chat. Winston, thank you for 222. Make sure you get into crane kick position. What the
Away with the
fuck, man?
strikes. So as this one comes in, he's either gonna double over, he's either gonna flinch. As soon as I do that first strike, I follow with the pump strikes with the
What is he doing? He's like running his fingers through his hair. It's so romantic.
As soon as I do that first strike, I follow with
It's
the
so
pump strikes with the elbow.
romantic, chat. They're in love. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, back to the cahoots. Oh my god. Cover answers, lol. Beautiful. Which technique targets the face, abdomen, and or groin? Front snap kick, back snap kick, stomp, or knee strike? Near, far, wherever you are. Alright. Throwing up. Oh. Well, that is an option. That is an option. So, the knee strike. Alright, let's take a look at that. I kind of want more videos from this guy. Okay, knee strike. Oh, Mai Tai. Oh, this is from kickboxing. Hold on. Let's look at the knee strikes for self-defense. It's the same guy!
Hey guys, Nick Joseph, and welcome to Code Red Defense. I'm going to teach you how to set up a preemptive knee strike. So if I'm faced with my attacker and I'm talking
So
to
is
him,
this like
what I'll do
grabbing
is
your
I'll shift
assailant's
my
head
weight
and
slightly
striking
back.
them
So
with your knee?
From here, I'll put all my weight on my back leg. By putting all my weight
His
on my
mannequin
back
gains
leg,
sentience.
I'm
It's like a
loosening
Hallmark
this
movie, cat.
to strike right there, which means
He's
I'm
not cheating on
moving
his mannequin. This is his
moving
mannequin.
Forward,
This
I'm
is the
leaning
power of
back,
love.
I'm talking to him, and he's in my face. Boom! As I strike low, I come up high. Okay.
Ah.
So again, shift the weight back. I'm bringing my hands. Boom! Low, step, and then come in high with an
So it's
elbow.
just kneeing somebody on the groin.
Great.
I'm a real boy
It's a
now.
great combination as well. It kind of follows. Now, I might
Romance
do
is truly
this,
magical.
and he might be throwing a punch right after, and then I need to step in. It doesn't really matter.
cheating
The
on
important
dummy
thing is,
cook.
as I strike low, I come up high right away. Okay? So
Okay.
this is just, a simple, 1-2 step that you
You're
can
just
learn.
kneeing somebody
Okay,
in the
but you need
groin.
to have it set up. If the
This didn't
person's
even need to be 2
walking,
minutes.
it's hard for you to do it. So it's only if you're standing still. Same thing if it was up against the wall and I'm here, right, and I'm talking to him. This is where I can use the wall.
Oh, that's another thing with self-defense. That is another thing with self-defense, is you really should not be standing still, right? If somebody is coming at you or whatever, you should not be standing still. Alright? You just keep moving. Just keep moving. You giving them time, create distance. Do not give them time to target you or time to come at you. Don't give them the opportunity to analyze what they should do next. Keep moving and create distance. Unless you are aiming. Well, that's another thing, is when you're... So, when you're like boxing and shit, right? This is like one of the differences between things like boxing and self-defense. When you take the time to like ground yourself, you are giving your opponent an opportunity, right? So if you're giving yourself the time to like create like leverage, that's also time that they have to stop you and to overpower you. You basically just fucking wail on them, right? Just fucking wail on them. Every situation is different, and if they're like on the ground and you're on top of them, like beating their fucking face in, alright, things are gonna be different. But in general, you want to keep moving. Use a weapon if you can. You gotta be very careful with weapons. Introducing a weapon into a scenario like this, depending on your strength, your skill, your knowledge, you might just be giving your opponent a weapon. Don't think that this is one of the things with guns, right? You hear about this a lot with people who think that a gun is just gonna save them. A gun is like the magical weapon that is gonna stop them from getting hurt in a self-defense situation, right? There are so many people out there that get killed by their own gun. And it's because if you do not know what you are doing with that gun, you are just giving the other person a gun. Alright? If you pull out a gun, guns are not magic wands, exactly. If you pull out a gun and you don't know how to properly use it, more so if you're not trained on how to use it, if you have a gun for self-defense, I really, really recommend getting trained with it. Because you not knowing what to do is basically just giving the other person a gun. Pippa is factually wrong. That situation is extremely rare. I mean, violent crime is extremely rare. Crime that ends in murder is extremely rare. But it is, I do not think it's uncommon for somebody to bring a gun into a situation and to have that gun taken from them. Sometimes it does work. It depends on the situation. No two situations are the exact same, right? In some areas, you know, pulling out, or with some people, right? Pulling out a gun is enough to deter somebody. But why also take the chance? It's extremely unlikely for you to lose your gun. If you don't know what you're doing, I disagree. What two techniques are shown below? Elbow strike, palm heel strike, elbow strike, hammer fist, elbow strike, eye gouge, elbow strike, ear slap. It's best not to escalate a situation to lethality either way. Ideally. If you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't have a gun to begin with. I agree with that. No. People are always going to say, oh no, this is wrong, that's wrong, whatever. I strongly recommend, alright, I strongly recommend, if you do not know what you are doing with a gun, just don't put yourself in that situation. Just don't even have a gun, alright? Do not buy a fucking gun and make everybody else look bad because you didn't practice and get trained to have a very powerful, very controversial tool. Alright? Don't put yourself in that situation. Don't put the rest of us in that situation, alright? If you wanna fucking have something to flash at other people, to make them think that you have a gun, first of all, that's generally a stupid thing to do. Just in my opinion, alright? Making the other person think that you can apply lethal force on them can go very badly. But if that is what you want to do, if you feel confident that that is what you are supposed to do, buy a fucking airsoft gun. Alright? Buy a fucking airsoft gun. If that is what your end game is, you don't want to get trained, you just want to fucking try and dominant people like that, you're fucking convinced, get a fucking airsoft gun. Do not do that. I don't think you should fucking get a gun and not get trained, alright? I would rather you get a fucking airsoft gun. Chat. I'm saying I don't think you should fucking do it at all. Alright? I'm saying you are a fucking idiot if you think flashing a gun at somebody is going to get them to back off. I don't think that's how that works. Don't flash a not gun, get an airsoft gun. I'm saying don't flash a fucking gun. And if you're gonna do that, go get an airsoft gun so that way when that gun gets taken off of you, it's not gonna get used against you in a way that's gonna end your life. That's just as bad. I think it's the lesser of two evils. If you're gonna act like an idiot, then lesser of two evils. What is the phrase for the wrist grab release? Up and towards the chest, down and around towards the thumb, down, around towards the pinky, twist and hit through the elbow. This is what I was talking about. Down and around, towards the pinky, isn't it? And nothing before 20, the IRS put me in a self-defense situation every April. Do you have any advice for me? Oh my god. If you use an airsoft gun, you'll die from embarrassment when the criminal laughs at you. Don't flash a gun unless it's at least above average. Don't flash a gun at all. Do not flash a gun at all. Flashing a gun does not make you look tough, alright? Having a gun does not make you tough. There are so fucking many people. There are so many people that just get a gun thinking that it makes you invincible. It's not a force field. You're just adding an additional element of danger to a situation that you do not know how to control. Don't tell me what to do. Oh my god. You should always use your fist, foot, voice, eyes. Flashing is brandishing, brandishing is a crime. Is that a crime everywhere? In most jurisdictions, flashing a gun without intent to use is illegal and considered brandishing. I don't like to say things are like strictly illegal because I don't know. Like it depends on the area. Thank you for having common sense. Thank you for the $5. Controlled me. Frog 9, thank you for $5. The goal of self-defense isn't to kill the other dude, it's to get away with as little bodily harm as possible. Only pull a gun if you're ready to kill. Always use your voice, so calling for help, I guess. Trying to dissuade the person. I think that is the mindset, is the goal of self-defense. You should not be trying to kill the other person. You should not be trying to kill the other person. You should be trying to protect yourself. Legally, physically. What technique requires you to strike down with the bottom of your foot near your toes? Back snap kick, stomp, side snap kick, front snap kick. You should not kill if you should not care if you kill him either though. I think you should care. Just neutralize. If he dies, he dies. a good mindset to have. Neutralize, but at the same time, like, don't aim for fucking murder, right? If he dies, he dies. Ah! I was reading somebody's comment. Which technique is good to know when your hands are not free? Stomp, back snap kick, elbow strike, spear hand push. NACL, thank you for the $7.99. Thank you for doing the stream with no particular event inspiring an animal, rather grow. Oh, thank you. What are some of these questions? What are with some of these questions? There are a lot more types of techniques than that are brought up, lol. Well, they can't bring up literally every single technique. Can't bring up, like, literally. So, which technique is good to know when your hands are not free? So, stomping. I guess because the lower half of your body is free. So, elbow strike would require you to have the ability to move the entirety of your arm in order to get, like, leverage, right? In order to create the force, you would need to be able to move your hands, right? If your hands are not free, then striking somebody with your elbow is not going to be possible. Spear hand push, I don't know exactly what that is. But the implication being that it involves your hands, if your hands aren't free, then you can't do it, right? And back snap kick sounds like it might involve moving your entire body. I don't know, we can look up back snap kick. Back snap kick. A lot of these things just become common sense. Joe Rogan's kicks sound like gunshots? I think this might be unrelated, but I'm curious. Can't you think you're becoming Big Kiki? Is that what that is? Back snap kick? Don't touch my
This
purse.
kick is
I don't
back
know
snap
you.
kick. So I'm not facing my opponent. He's behind me. So I hear him coming. And the way I do it is I lift my knee and then I turn to deliver my kick. And this is a part of the hits that makes.
This feels like action movie bullshit. Dude, this feels like action movie bullshit. Bro, when the fuck would this ever be applicable? You just gave this man your leg! This man can now just grab your fucking leg and pull you upside down, dude! Known as the donkey kick? This is so dumb! This is super legit. I don't believe you. Dude, I don't fucking believe you. I think you just gave this man your fucking leg, right? You just kick this guy, he's gonna kill, like, forward, and he's gonna grab your leg. I'm willing to fucking bet. This does not fucking seem like a good idea. Donkey kick? Donkey kick, self-defense. Man, I do not fucking see any videos using this. Stability exercise? No, man. No, man. Villabus, thank you for the 333. Pippa, literally everything you have suggested is action movie bullshit. It's really not, though. It's really not. If you think it's action movie bullshit, I only know, like, the bare basics of self-defense. It really is? Nah. Everything is movie BS? Man. Which technique requires your chin down and arms up? Spear hand push, headbutt, chokehold, release, hair pull. Pippa actually believes all this. You don't believe in self-defense? You're giving the basics, although those quizzes are kind of trash. Chokehold release? Choke, hold, release.
Everyone, it's
Oh, this is the
Maxwell.
thing
I'm
wrestlers
back here
do.
today again. Now, most of you ask me about some people get a lot of problem like guap
Pippa thinks self-defense is real. Oh my god.
Them
Oh
away.
my god, he's getting him! He's getting him, dude!
And that's exactly what happened. This kind of thing here. Okay.
Oh man. That guy's muscles are
let's
stronger,
see
are
what's
bigger
happening
than
here.
that guy's
A
head.
lot of things happening at the minute. A lot of people asking in different countries. This is quite common happening. Walk in the street
What?
and somebody drag you, put into really naked chocolate and drag you away. How you defend that? Okay.
Chat, you think I'm fucking crazy. This guy just said that this is a common occurrence in other countries. Alright, chat. Chat, gain some fucking perspective, chat.
I got my
Chat, you guys live in your fucking rooms, never leave the house. Alright, you're just like me. You're just like me, man.
friend here, Dr. John here, because he will talk to me, talk to you not a little bit about it as well, because I talk a lot about different already. So
Brazil.
you can explain to them how he can protect himself with this problem that he got here if somebody drag you away like this.
Okay, for the most part, if I get you in a rear naked choke,
That is not the voice I
3 to
expected.
8 seconds before you pass out, generally. Now, I would say that
That is not the voice I
as soon as I hit the
expected.
ground, when I wrap my legs around you and then choke you, it's game over, more or less.
Right.
Okay. Now, what is your natural reaction? to
Oh,
do?
naturally, you should put our hands up.
Yeah.
Grab
yeah,
the arms, the
okay.
usual.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if you can, okay, reach for my groin. You can't headbutt me because my hand's here.
Yeah.
Reach for my groin. Now, if we are moving backwards, you might not be,
You
able,
might be able
to.
to do, yeah.
You know what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
it's like you also don't want to. Before, when we did the bear hug, when you drop your weight, if you do that now, you might do some damage to your neck.
Some of
you
your
know what I
neck,
mean?
yeah, you want to
So
do
from here, okay, keep your chin down, okay. Now, if you are aware that something might happen, you keep your chin down, okay. Then that buys you a bit of time.
that you can-
However,
yeah.
all I have to do is grab your philtrum, lift it up, and I've got your
Oh,
filtrum.
yeah.
So you want to be so careful. Again, it's awareness, being aware of the situation. Okay. Yeah, really. So from here, I choke you. Okay. Now from here, if you can reach for my groin. Okay. Now you've got as I'm moving backwards. Now from here.
But Dr. John, this is a big problem. A lot of people said like same thing on my one. They said Rich attacking and going. Really? Is it work? They said tell them is it work or not? Tell them.
If subscribe to my channel
No! Fuck
and make
you.
sure you click on the bell
No!
when I upload a video.
Fuck
You will
off.
get the notification straight to your mobile.
No!
Now get back to your training.
Fuck you!
So, you know, you could be the biggest guy in the world. Okay. And just that to the groin is going to be so painful. Now this anyone can do. If you're going to go straight in. Okay. Of course, as you're dragging me back,
See, chat, this is what I'm saying, right? This is what I'm saying. Pressure points, chat. You don't need to be super strong. You don't need to be strong enough to rip that guy's hand away from your throat or whatever, chat. Fucking like the meme, chat. Discombobulate, alright? Hit them in their pressure points like that, alright? The throat, the eyes, the nose, the groin. Strength helps. Strength definitely does help, but you don't need to be stronger than your opponent to get out of a self-defense situation like this.
Okay, if you put, okay, now chin down. Okay, this is what most people do. You see what I mean?
You're creating
So from here, this
reactionary
is what most
lag.
people do.
You're
Now,
going to be
there is
distracted
this and this. Okay, now
by their pain.
from here,
You're going to
if
be
you can grab it, now,
disoriented.
if his fingers are locked in, because he's good. Okay,
Yep.
I can't even reach his fingers. From here, once I've got hold of these, okay, it might
Dr.
just.
John, did you been watching my video again?
You know what? I don't need to grab two. One will do. One will do. Okay. One
You
will
only
do.
need
okay,
one
from here.
ball, chat.
You
only-
see what I mean,
you only
okay?
need one.
Now, he's gonna want to release, but if he doesn't, okay, you know what? Do you want to choke me out or do you want to lose one? You know what I mean? Okay. Now from here, I can elbow as many. Now meanwhile, okay, this is gonna loosen up if I manage to hit hard
just a
enough.
reaction to do
But
that.
if you manage to catch me completely off guard and you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah, and
panic,
you're
panic,
like-
panic, okay,
Yeah.
of course you're gonna choke me out. So
Right.
it's knowing how to. It's like, you know when you
I
touch
see you. They
something
were
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's having that reaction. As soon as someone does this, you want to react quickly. You want to
Right.
you want to react quickly from here.
And move it. It's coming.
Wow!
Now it's once I'm here, okay.
This is a terrible video. No, it's not. This is a good video.
Oh, screw it. You know
You
what?
can
We'll
do
snap
whatever.
this off.
So let's have Roger here, the Dr. John. Can you choke him out?
Unironically, a good video.
And let's see how he will respond to it. Let's find a different.
So you
Did you feel that?
Okay, no, yeah, I did, yeah.
Can you reach and he's going from there?
The fucking muscles!
It's quite easy to
Jesus
find. Now moving
Christ!
backwards, okay. From here, as you reach for my groin.
What are you telling me?
Okay.
You got a longer one or something? Easy to find?
From here, okay. If you elbow me a few times, okay, yeah. Now, This is the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, I'm not going to feel anything. I might be on something.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if I'm on some kind of drug, then it.
So what
I'm not
about this
feeling any
then?
pain.
If Roger here, when the time comes, when you
See,
on
that's another thing, Chat. That's another thing. All right. You have no idea what, like, if somebody comes at you, right? If you're in the fucking Walmart parking lot, right? You're loading your groceries into your car, and some person comes at you. All right, they're acting crazy and shit. They might be on drugs. All right. Even if you have a gun in a situation, this is why the best thing that you can do is to create distance and get the fuck out away from the situation, right? Even if you have a gun, alright, if somebody comes at you, and they're hopped up on fucking crocodile or some shit, right? Even if you put a bullet in them, even if you put a couple bullets in them, they might not get taken down. It's run away, best strategy. Unironically, running away, protecting your life, making sure that you are safe is going to be way better than potentially engaging with danger like this. It's not, it might be like the cowardly move or whatever, right? But it's not worth risking your life over some fucking drug addict that has a fucking sharpened pencil, alright? You never know with these people.
phone or look or put your hand
It's not
like the
cowardly
phone,
if you
like
live,
watching
yeah.
the phone.
All
You
right.
lean a bit forward now, yeah. Watching the phone like this, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, like body like this before. Can you choke him like this?
Yeah. You know what? It's you know what? I can just pull his ears back. Thank you.
And then wrap him out.
Mine, you know.
So literally problem.
It's so easy to do if his back is facing me because his attention is on his phone.
Right.
He doesn't know I'm behind him.
Right.
So this is sneaking up on him like this is so easy.
And
you
then
know,
go into it.
and going into it. Now, it's like I would always say that as soon as you do
These
something like
people
this,
are so
okay,
big,
now,
I kind of want to see
you
one of
wanna-
the children standing near
you
them.
want to react as soon as possible.
But
Yeah.
at the same
Okay.
time, maybe
Automatically,
the
you're
children
just
should look
thinking
at
about
these guys
breathing, to
grabbing
be
each
honest
other's
with you.
balls.
Now, this arm is so locked tight. If you try and pull it off,
It's
if you
difficult.
try and pull it off, you won't.
Forgot about the
Yeah,
Kahoot?
yeah.
We finished
No.
the Kahoot, didn't we? Yeah, we're done with the Kahoot. Here we go, we'll look at the winners. They're actually 4 feet tall, that would make sense. I feel like a lot of these guys that overcompensate with like bodybuilding and shit. Our winners, ladies and gentlemen! Elliot Rogers! Beautiful. As a thought, thank you for the sticker. Man, some of this information would have been good for you to know, man. Oh well. Pipkin Pippa, subscribe button for the $1. Subscribe and remember to Pipkin Pippa. Click the bell to receive up. Oh my god. I think I'm largely caught up. Okay, let's close out of that. I feel like
If I wanted
actually
you
a pretty
to,
cool video. I did
because you-
prepare some other ones. Here's like an article that I found. 5 legal self-defense mistakes you must avoid. Another deleted VOD. Why is the VOD getting deleted? Is it because Elliot Rogers? Is it because you're Canadian? I am not. I am not Canadian. You know why? Game award earlier? Oh yeah, true. Chat, if you act like nothing is wrong, management will think nothing is wrong. 5 legal self-defense mistakes you must avoid. Okay, so this is an article that I read over a little bit of this. It kind of talks about some of the things that I talked about as well. I can blur the game horn. Yeah, I can just blur it. So, standing your ground if you have a duty to retreat. So, some states are stupid. Some states, you will get in trouble no matter what you do if you try to defend yourself. If you defend yourself at all, some states in the US will fuck you over anyways. Like California, exactly, like fucking California. So, a few states require a person to use every safe option to avoid the use of force before that force is considered legally justified. And even if it is legally justified, they can come up with ways that it's not legally justified, right? Like they'll just because something was reasonable in your mind at the time, right? The fucking justice system is not very just. Alright? That's just how it is. The justice system is not very just. And if you have some fucking drug addict charge at you, alright? They're pummeling your face in, and you shoot them, these people might be like, well, why didn't you call 911? Right? But realistically, calling 911 should not be your first go-to, right? You call 911 when you are safe from the danger. But these people do not care. So you gotta just do your best to protect yourself. Ideally, don't live in California. But in other words, if you can safely escape and choose to engage a threat instead, that would not be illegal in so-called duty to retreat states. In contrast, states such as Texas with stand your ground laws allow you to use whatever force you reasonably believe is necessary without requiring you to attempt to escape. Authentic and fucking $5. Did you know that in California you have the right to stand your ground? Hey, California is a great state. It's also easy to get guns. Are you trying to sell your house? Care not thinking about $2. Go to lawsofdefense.com/free book. To make yourself hard to convict, Andrew Branca is an expert on self-defense law. We shall check that out in a second. And Super Unbobbing for $5. Law of Self-Defense has a great book. Oh, well, there we go. Another recommendation. Andrew Branca is also often hilarious. Oh, well. We will go check that out in a second. Massachusetts is the worst state for self-defense. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Number 2, instigating. You cannot claim self-defense if you yourself created the dangerous situation. So if we go back to this scenario, right? So in at least like the US, if this person comes up on you, right? And they're like bumping into you and shit, and they're trying to like intimidate you, alright? If you punch them, you're like, shh, right? You punch them, they cannot punch you back and then like claim self-defense, right? Because they instigated the violence. How do I hide this? Fuck, wrong one. Oh god. There we go. I don't think that's actually true in all cases. It depends on how good your lawyer is. That's really what it comes down to, right? It comes down to how good your lawyer is, how much money you're willing to spend, and if the other person is alive. Which is honestly why if somebody comes onto your property and there's no other witnesses, there's no cameras or whatever, if somebody comes at you, dead men tell no tales. I'm just saying. Dead people cannot argue against you. Alright? Dead people cannot represent themselves in court. Family members and shit can, right? But if there's nobody else to see what happened. Yeah. In most street fight or bar fight situations, all participants can be charged with assault. You can only claim self-defense if you are an innocent party protecting yourself or others from unlawful imminent danger. It is permissible to use force only for unprovoked unlawful attacks. Number 3, using more force than necessary. Use any amount of force for self-defense is permissible. Use of any amount of force for self-defense is permissible only if you reasonably believe that amount of force is absolutely necessary to protect yourself from death or serious injury. So this is what I'm talking about as well with like pulling out a gun, right? Pulling out a gun. You might not necessarily need a gun in a situation, and you bringing that as an element to the table is something that can then be used against you in court, assuming it doesn't get used against you in the actual altercation itself. 2 strategies exist for reducing the amount of force required for self-defense: avoidance and discouragement. Avoidance means reducing the risk of an attack by maintaining situational awareness and avoiding settings where an attack is likely to occur. Discouragement means taking steps to disincentivize attackers. Most violent criminals target victims who appear vulnerable or submissive. Criminals are less likely to target confident, strong-looking individuals. Criminals are also less likely to invade homes that appear to be well protected. Consider enrolling in martial arts training to build confidence and awareness, and employ strong home security options to keep yourself and your loved ones free from home invasions. Dude, security cameras are so much easier to set up nowadays. Oh my god. My parents, alright, setting up security cameras, we didn't even have like tapes and shit back in the day, alright? Like we did have tapes, like I'm not so fucking old that I predates like tapes, right? But getting like a surveillance system that records was such a pain in the ass back in the day, right? But nowadays, there's like there's so many options, right? There's so many fucking options. There's Nest, there's Ring, there's like this new one that's like a Costco brand. Having these things, it is worth paying for the subscription. It is worth paying for the subscription. Buy an ADT sticker for 30 cents. Listen, having signs up that say that this property is monitored by surveillance cameras, that's a good deterrent, alright? Don't be like, yes, I use Nest, right? Don't have a sign up that says, yes, I use Nest. Property protected by Nest cameras, right? Because then you're opening yourself up to like security issues, right? But having signs up that make potential criminals aware that they are being recorded is enough to deter a lot of people. This property is protected by Smith & Wesson. Brilliant. Even if you don't have a dog, putting a sign up that says that you do have a dog. This property is monitored by a dog, alright? Sometimes these signs are a legal liability for you. Depending on your state, having a sign up that says, beware of dog can be a legal liability for you that tells other people that you know your dog is a threat. So look up your laws. You really need to look up your laws before you do anything. But if it is okay in your area, if it is not a legal liability, even if you don't have a dog, put up the sign. Alright? Just put up the fucking sign. Alright? Because it's just another thing to deter people with. Background noise, thank you for $2. We need to bring back dueling ASAP. Sergeant Wizard Fisting on 233. I hate the, oh, you need to prove you didn't use too much force part of the law. If someone decides to attack you, they are basically giving up their right to live. And yes, cops will tell you to just kill someone if you ever have to shoot them. Yeah, I've been told by cops that. John Smith, thank you for $2. Watch Masab Yud, judicious use of deadly force. Now thank you for $1. Pippa, if you shoot someone and kill them, you'll just be prosecuted by the state. Yeah, if you walk up to somebody and you shoot them, you're gonna get prosecuted by the state. Right? You might enter a court situation if you kill somebody in your own home, but you are far less likely to be imprisoned over something like this, alright? Like, just look it up. Just look it up. Or just talk to a cop about it. The state attorneys are never as good as individuals. That's a major thing. Okay, now thank you for the $1. If you want to see good self-defense videos, visit Active Self-Protection. Tons of videos from Brazil. I guess that would be a good place to get self-defense videos from. Never forget the golden rule, don't talk to cops. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Cops aren't experts on the law. No, they're not, but they're a good starting point. What was I saying? Oh god, I forgot what I was talking about. Shit. Shit, I had a point I was gonna talk about it, and then I forgot. I was still thinking of the 20 Mexicans. You're only guilty if you stand the... Oh! Cops! Right. Do not talk to the cops. Do not. Yeah, cops are not your friends. Never talk to the police. They will try and trick you. Cops are literally trained to try and trick you into revealing information. The cops can be your friends when you're not involved in something that they can that they can benefit from, right? You can have friends that are cops, you can eat donuts with the cops, you can talk to the cops, whatever, right? But when you are in a situation where you are heading to jail, you're being accused of a crime, you're being detained, you're being held under suspicion, any of this shit, you do not talk to them. You do not talk to them at all. Alright? You say, let me speak to my lawyer. Yeah, not without my lawyer. Need to speak to my lawyer. I am going to wait for my lawyer. Alright? Because literally anything you say, when they say that, when they read you your Miranda rights and they're like, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, that's not a fucking joke. Alright? You could be telling them the straight facts. You're thinking, this is fine, okay? This man broke into my home. He was trying to rape my daughter. I shot and I killed him. Alright? This man broke into my home. He was charging at me with a knife. He was intending to kill me. I have scratches to prove it. I have a stab mark to prove it, right? That can be held against you. Alright? The sad reality of things is that whatever you say doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Alright? Like, what actually happened might not matter. Because your lawyer will come up with a defense that actually works. Alright? You need to get a nice lawyer and you need to talk to them. Alright? And when somebody is on your property, you need to make it as clear as possible. You do not want them to be there. If there are witnesses, it's very good to have witnesses around. That you make it clear that this other person is the aggressor. Brandon, thank you for the $10. Can confirm cops have tried to falsely charge me before and they lied in court. Don't trust them on your lawyer. Yep. They will lie. They do not care. They do not care. You are inconsequential to them. What actually happened does not matter. Yes, be loud and bring attention. This is another thing. If you're getting attacked in public, if you bring attention to it, this is another thing that can deter assailants, right? If somebody's trying to rob you or somebody's trying to attack you in public, if you make a scene out of it, if you're a woman and somebody's groping you in public, shame and embarrassment works. And people will look at this person, they'll be able to identify them, they'll be like, oh yeah, I saw this man trying to do this, right? It becomes much more cut and dry. Unironically, or ironically, yelling fire is the best thing, yeah. If you're in a situation, a lot of people think yelling rape will help. Yelling rape does not help. Alright, yelling things like fire. Like, there's a fire, help. Fire. Not call 911, alright? Like, these things, much more better. Much better. If you can... What do you mean, ironically? Because yelling... I was reading a comment that said ironically, but I think it's ironic because if you yell, this person's trying to kill me, people won't take it seriously, right? If you yell, I'm being attacked, help me, people might assume that you're just playing around with your friends. But if you yell fire, different situation. There was another thing I was gonna say on top of that. Public defender is a prosecutor in disguise. Background noise, thank you for the $2. Oh, dash cam. That was another thing I was gonna talk about. You should have cameras on you, man. You should have cameras. I know it sucks being like filmed constantly and shit. But dude, you should really have dash cams. You should really, really have a dash cam. Alright? Because if you're in a public area or whatever, you know, like you might be you might be at a Walmart. Okay? I keep going to Walmart. And I think it was 333 saying gamer words will also help. Saying things that'll attract attention in general will help. If you have a dash cam, suddenly public altercations that are around your car help. Like they don't help. I'm wording things terribly. It's another measure of defense. It is another way to potentially have the person on camera and have clear footage of what happened. Yeah, dash cam should be in every car, not just in Russia. Exactly! I love Russian dash cam footage. Having dash cams will lower your insurance rates too. Oh, I didn't know that. I can't not think of it. One day someone went to Portugal and got his butt whooped again. Should have learned some self-defense, yeah. Do you follow all this advice? I'm not very frequently in self-defense situations, so I don't have to follow a lot of the advice. But yes, I do make sure that I have self-defense tools on me when I go out. And I do make sure to... I do have security cameras. I have more than just security cameras. I have shit on my windows and everything. Yeah. What was one of the other things I was gonna say? Self-defense tools. Be careful. Know what's legal in your area. Some places like England, right? In England, I think like pepper spray is not legal. You're not allowed to have pepper spray in England, and you're not allowed to have knives on you in England. And that's another thing you should have in your car. Is not just a knife, but a window breaker. You should have a tool to be able to break your windows in case you ever get trapped in your vehicle. The doors do not open. You should have that. It's good to have a knife in your vehicle with an immediate access in case you need to like cut off your seatbelt, or maybe you get into an accident in the woods or whatever. You need to cut off a piece of your shirt to tie it around your fucking arm, shit, right? It's good to have these things. Maybe pepper spray is not legal in your area, but look up bear spray. Alright? Pepper spray, bear spray, pretty much the same thing. If you can have bear spray in your car, it's a much more reasonable thing to have. Be like, yes, officer, I drive past the woods, you know, like I live in the woods. I have family that lives in the woods. I go camping, you know. Like it's good to have bear spray in your car, and you can use it against assailants. Isn't bear spray way worse? I'm pretty sure it's way worse. I have bear spray. I don't have pepper spray. I'm still thinking for the $2. Does openly carrying a blade help deter assault? No. Super Iron Bob, thank you for the $5. Window breakers don't work on laminated glass required in newer cars. Check your windows if they will work. Oh shit, I had no idea about that. I had no idea about that. Wasp spray also works. I'd have to look into that. Pippa is paranoid. I've lived in bad areas, and the thing with bear spray is, like, I've lived in areas with bears, so. I missed your dono? Oh, Jill 17, thank you for the 1337. Walmart Pacoa, shut up. Yes. Gabby, thank you for the $10. Pippa, if I want to take down a feral swamp pig, a raging bog hog, if you will, what would be the best line of attack for that? If you want to take them down, like you're actively... I'm not going to advocate for violence, right? I'm not going to advocate for specifically taking something down like that. But if you are being chased by a bog hog, I think just outrunning it will be enough. What was the other thing I was going to talk about? Oh god, I'm losing my train of thought. There was another thing I was going to mention. Oh, there's a lot of tools out there that actually, are self-defense items, but they don't necessarily look like self-defense items. So, you've probably seen these take the form of, like, hold on, like, disguised self-defense weapons. So, there's, like, you see these a lot with, like, girl stuff. But they make it for, like, guys as well. Sometimes you can get it just, like, in the form of keychains. But so there's shit like this, right? Where it's like a disguise tool, right? And it's not uncommon for a guy to have a comb, right? It's not uncommon for a guy to have a pen. These are things that you can have on you, and you can have accessible, right? You can have a pen in your pockets. And it's something you can use in not just self-defense, but in an emergency situation. And that's another thing. I'm not as worried about self-defense as I'm worried about emergency situations. Right? Never mind basic. I own the middle one. Everything is a knife, Pippa. Everything is a knife. These are legal in 10 places. Yeah, you gotta look up your laws. You gotta look up your laws. Not enough to puncture the skin? I mean, you don't need to fucking, like, stab somebody. That's something I could see Pippa carrying? I don't actually have anything like that. Yeah, know your laws. Know your laws. You should check out Surviving Edged Weapons. We watched it on stream, actually. We have watched that on stream. Always carry a flashlight. That is another thing. Always carry a flashlight. Oh, that's a thing. Distracting assailants, right? You can create distance by creating confusion. So, you guys know, like, the fucking meme of pocket sand, right? That is actually something that can help you in a self-defense situation. Alright? You have a flashlight. Alright? That is a tool you can use for self-defense. And you can flash people in the eyes. Like, it's corny as fuck, but it's just little things. It's just little things. It's good to have more tools in your arsenal. It is very good to have tools in your arsenal. You might not use these tools. The situation might not call for it. It probably won't. But if you're broken down on the side of the road, it's good to have a flashlight. If somebody approaches you on the side of the road, it's good to get your phone out. Be recording, be aware of the situation. And maybe just maybe point the light a little bit at them so you get a good look at their face on the camera. Just in case, just in case. Maybe it makes sense to carry your purse around after all. Oh my god. Always be recording, hell yeah. Hell yeah. If you're broken down on the side of the road, turn your dash cam on. Flares are based for roadside accidents. Gotta be careful with flares. Wear a GoPro on your head? Probably don't go that far. Oversharing. Hopefully your ordeal will never go to court at all. The physical and emotional trauma of a self-defense situation will be difficult enough without the added financial, emotional, and temporal burdens of a criminal or civil trial. However, just as in every case of, in every aspect of self-defense, we train for the worst case scenario. This is the thing, chat. A lot of people, I see some people in chat, right? It's like, oh, that's dumb. That's like action movie bullshit. When would you ever need to know this? When would you ever need to use this? Alright, you're not gonna need that. You're not gonna... Whatever. What's the likelihood of this happening? It can happen to anyone. And things can go from 0 to 10 in under a second. Alright? You might think, oh, this doesn't matter. Oh, if somebody comes at me, I'll just kill them. Alright? But I really recommend just studying up on this stuff a little bit, right? Just a little bit. Just dip your toes into the water and learn how much you don't know. Because there is a lot of shit that goes into this, alright? Yeah, don't just kill people, please. Exactly. Do not just think that these kinds of things are cut and dry, alright? Even, you might be like, Pippa, you're fucking wrong, right? Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Go through, educate yourself on this stuff, and come and prove me wrong, alright? Because I will feel better knowing that you are educated, knowing that you have done your research into these things, that you know what can happen during these sorts of altercations, what your options are. We can't prove you wrong, chat streamer dynamics. Well, I mean, you can always at me on Twitter. Listen, if anyone has like a genuine qualm with anything that I say, right? You can at me on Twitter. I will see it. Or I will likely see it anyways. If I don't see it, at me again in like a week. Or send it to my mods or whatever. Because this isn't just like... Jackis, thank you for becoming a big PP. You should check out Baz Ruden's Lethal Street Fighting. It's on YouTube, and Baz shows you how to recommend man who fights you in a bar. That sounds interesting. This is not a... Okay, like, the premise of this stream was a joke, right? The premise for this stream was, haha, funny thing happened. But at the end of the day, this is serious shit. And I don't... This is not like a dick measuring thing, like, I just wanna, like... oh man, look at how fucking like educated I am or whatever. You know, I'm not super smart on this shit. I wouldn't say I'm competent with this stuff. I just have some experience with it. I have dipped my toes into the water as well. I'd rather be more informed, right? If you have genuine things where you're like, Pippa, you know, you said this during stream. I think you're wrong. I know you're wrong. Here's why you're actually a giant fucking idiot. You can send it to me. You can let me know. Because I'd rather know. It's not an ego thing. It's keeping people safe. And yeah. What's funny about violence? What's funny about children seeing their father be a pushy on video forever? Oh no. Anyways. The sad irony of the law is that the truth is not as relevant as what you can prove in court. Or what story you can tell in court. Even if your use of force was justified by the facts, you need to be mindful of how an overzealous prosecutor may choose to interpret or portray these facts. In order to reduce the risk of charges being filed against you, and in order to maximize the chance of winning your case, should charges be brought, you should not attempt to give a detailed statement to the police, even if they press you for it. You don't have to be an asshole about this, chat. You can be they know what's going on. They have seen it before. You are not hurting anybody's feelings. You do not need to hurt anybody's feelings. It is better for you to be on good terms with the police, but you do not need to be a pushover to them. You do not need to be a pushover, but you do not need to be. But you should be nice. Pissing off the cops is always gonna. 99% of the time is gonna end very poorly for you, right? Pissing off the people that are in the position of power is not a good idea. But you also need to protect yourself. Yeah, politely inform them that you're invoking your right to remain silent. Yeah, say this with me, Pippa. I think I should run this past my lawyer. Yeah. Am I being the chaser? Do not do that! Do not do that! Oh my god, I have fucking listened to people in my personal life that work in law enforcement just go on these huge fucking tangents about how much they hate and how much of a laughingstock people are that do that, right? When it doesn't matter what is the law, alright? Because you are at the mercy of these people. You are at the mercy of these people, alright? You do not start your fucking conversation with, am I being detained? Don't do it! Don't be argumentative! Remember to bring up maritime law. Do not call yourself do not call yourself a traveler. Do not call yourself a captain. Do not call your vehicle a land vessel. Do not talk about being a sovereign citizen. Do not say you don't need to see my ID. Do not say, any of this shit. Is there an ongoing investigation? Don't do this shit, alright? You're just intentionally pissing these people off. You are acting in bad faith and it is going to end very badly for you. Alright? You don't need to be a pushover, but dude, just give them your ID. If you have weapons in your vehicle, tell them. If you get pulled over, no matter what it's for, when you get pulled over, you tell that police officer, I just want you to be informed. I have a gun in my glove in my glove box. All right? I have a gun under my back seat. I just want to make sure we're all clear. I am looking to work with you. No, that's how you get shot. Dude. You are more likely to get shot if they see this thing on you. Alright? If they interpret your behavior. Very wrong? I disagree. I have lawyers not lawyers. I have cops in my personal life chat. And this is what they tell me. Alright? Someone was pulled over and shot for telling cops he had guns in the car. Listen, people are pulled over and shot because they moved their hands too quickly. Alright? You can get shot over anything. It is better to be on good terms with the police officer and to keep them informed and to be very cooperative. You do not want to fuck around. You look into this. Look into this. No, absolutely notify them of a weapon on you if you're doing nothing wrong. Don't fuck around, Chan. Don't fuck around. Alright? Don't go to America. Oh my god. It's just intentionally doing things as well, like things that are abrasive, like what's your badge number? Alright, don't ask that. You do not need to ask that. Alright? What you can ask, it's good to know, right? It's good to know their badge number, and if it can come up naturally, that's fine, right? It's good to be informed. But what's better to ask that will give you more information is hi officer, what's your name? Yeah, can I get your name, officer? Alright? Another thing, informing them that they're being recorded. Inform them that you're being recorded. This is one thing, don't be a pushover. If they tell you to stop recording, do not stop recording. Do not stop recording. If they ask you to turn off your dash cam, do not turn off your dash cam. Alright? Know your laws and your rights. Do not let them bully you into turning off your dash cam. Ask about their body cam? Yep, ask about their body cam. Alright? Be like, hey, I just want to check, is that body cam recording? Alright? I just want to be on equal terms. I'm recording. Are you recording? Alright? Try to be likable. And yes, record everything. Have a backup recording too, just in case they turn it off. Careful not to fuck around, but I think it is good, right? If you get pulled over, I think one thing that's good to do is to immediately take out your phone and start recording. Yes. They won't take that the wrong way. It depends on how you go about it. And yes, they can lie. Alright, but pretty likable, rest in peace, Jet. It's... yeah, that's how body cams conveniently start malfunctioning. It's... man. Say you work for me! Oh no. It's a good break for you telling people that it's safer to turn your back on a crackhead trying to kill you than just shooting him? What? I'm not saying turn your back on a crackhead. I'm saying create distance, alright? I'm not saying turn your back on a crackhead. I'm saying if a crackhead is approaching you, a gun might not be your best option. I cannot give you one-to-one advice. I cannot tell you that when you are being chased by a crackhead, to turn your back on them and run. I can't tell you to pull out your gun and shoot them. I can't tell you to get in your car and lock the doors. Because I don't know what kind of situation you're going to be in. That's why you have to have all of the information to make your own decisions. Alright? There is no one-size-fits-all self-defense advice. And that is one thing that cannot be disputed. That is one thing that is just universal. Is that there is no universal emergency situation like this. You're saying if a cop comes up to you and is hassling them, you shouldn't start asking them, am I being detained? If a cop comes up to you and is obviously acting in bad faith, I say just try your best to go along with what they're asking of you. And be very polite and be very likable. Alright? If you can, if there's... You can ask for more police to come out. You can be like, alright, just for my own safety, I'd like to request another officer to come out here. I'd like to... These kinds of things, right? Or go to a situation where there is more people, where there's witnesses, right? If you're getting pulled over, do not pull over in a dark street out in the middle of the woods, alright? Do not do that. You are allowed to go to like the nearest gas station, alright? I guess it depends on your area. Maybe, but what I have heard what I have been told is that if a cop is trying to pull me over out in the woods, to lower your speed and to proceed to a gas station. Right? Make it clear that you are headed to a safe place. I'm gonna look this up. Like, what is like the best way to actually proceed about that? Cop pulling you over. Head to safe place. I've heard famous last words. I'm talking about information I've gotten from cops. I'm gonna have to like look at what is like the best way to go about this. But I've heard this one because of cops doing not so nice things to women. Call 911 and explain the situation is a good idea. Calling 911 when you get pulled over? Oh, wait, yeah, shit, yeah, that is something you can do. If you're in the dark area, you can call 911 and you can tell them. Fuck, I completely forgot about that. You can call 911 and you can tell them, hi, I'm on Highway 505. I'm being pulled over. I do not know why. I do not know if the vehicle behind me is a actual police officer. For my own safety, I am proceeding to the nearest safe place to stop. I'd appreciate it if you could contact the local police department and let them know. Alright? If you could connect us. There you go. It's not wrong to protect yourself, and it's better. I'd rather, chat, I would rather get charged with, like, evading the police or whatever than possibly getting pulled over and murdered by a bad cop. Or whatever, you know? That's how you can verify. That you can also verify like that, yeah. Call the cops about the cops. Well, I mean, there's a story about a Chinese VTuber who got tricked by fake cops and was captive in sex trafficking for half a year. Yep. These things happen. These things happen. And it's not worth risking your safety. I would rather get a ticket and piss off the police than pull over on a shady dirt road. Alright? All the self-defense cop stuff sounds like complicated compared to learning how to hide the body. Oh my god. You can call the cops on the cops. That's an actual thing. And there you go. Connection error. Thank you for the $20. I'm late, so let me ask if I'm overweight with a flapjack chest and someone tries to steal my purse. How loud do I need to yell for the police while getting beat 3 times? Please help. I have a horse and piglet to take care of. Pretty loud, but don't worry. I believe you're capable. Oh man, just start a hollering. Have you ever seen cops arresting feds? It's hilarious. I have not. I have not. Count on the cops in Portugal. I don't like the idea of going to other countries just because of... I have like a chronic fear of like war breaking out when I'm in another place. And those fears were kind of realized recently due to like recent events. Like I wasn't in another place, right? But like I saw people that ended up trapped in certain situations. Yeah, I got my dog whistles in for the night, yeah. Guys, thank you for the $1. This stream has been good advice for once. Chat is being dumb. Well, thank you. I'm kind of scared to go to other countries because I am paranoid about things like war breaking out and getting stuck in a country, and maybe it'll be like my country versus another country, and I might end up like persecuted for that reason. Worried about shit like when you're in another country, medical issues can be absolutely insane, right? Like if you break your leg in another country, it can, depending on the country, it can be fucking horrible, right? It can be a very dire situation. You break a tooth or shit like that. Or if you get robbed. If you get robbed in another country, police are better and worse in some places. Alright? Like police are better and worse in some places, and the attitude towards foreigners in a lot of places is not so great, right? It's not so great. Just think about your own country, how they feel about foreigners when they go to the police, right? It's not always the greatest. Your secret police might scoop you up for broadcasting enemy. What? So yeah, I'm kinda anxious about traveling to other places. I would only travel to another country if it's very similar to my own country, right? Like I just don't like or if it's for like a very very short amount of time, right? I'm talking like a 2-day vacation. I would take like a 2-day vacation to a very foreign country, but I would not spend too much time in a place where I'm not necessarily welcome. Yeah. In order to reduce the risk of charges being filed against you, in order to maximize your chance of winning your case should charges be brought, you should not attempt to give a detailed statement to the police, even if they press for it. You should simply state, I don't know what happened. All I know is I was afraid for my life. This is not dishonesty. The reality is that attacks happen quickly and just say talk to your lawyer. I want to talk to my lawyer. No matter how clear the memory may seem, your recall may not be completely reliable. Additionally, the effects of stress will inhibit normal cognitive functions for hours afterwards, potentially causing you to misspeak or otherwise falsely incriminate yourself when you provide your statement. Thus, the most provident and honest statement you can possibly give is, I don't know what happened. All I know is I was afraid for my life. Yeah. I guess you could say, like, I need the... I need time to process what happened. I'm not ready to speak yet. I'd like to invoke my right to remain silent. I don't think I can give a, The less words you speak, the better. The less words you speak, the better. Actually, don't even bother with all that shit. Just the less you speak, the safer you are. Carrying, where, and what you're not allowed. Laws on transportation, concealment, and use of firearms vary greatly from state to state. If you choose to carry a firearm, it is your responsibility to understand the laws of the state you carry in. That includes if you're just passing by. Alright? A lot of people think that if you're just passing through somewhere, that you don't need the laws. You don't need to know the laws. But that is not true. That is not true. If you are traveling through California, you start in Nevada, you're going through California, you're going to Idaho. Alright? You still need to know what the laws are in California. If you're at a gas station in San Jose, California, you're heading to Irving, California, alright? You need to know what the laws are in San Jose, you need to know what the laws are in Irving. Alright? Wherever you stop, you need to know what you're allowed to do. How you're allowed to carry, what you're allowed to have. Just because it's a temporary stop does not make it okay. That is not how the law works, which is kind of dumb in my opinion if you're heading somewhere else. And this is just like a, yeah, crossing state lines can turn you into a criminal, yep. It doesn't matter if you forgot that you have the gun under your back seat, alright? It doesn't matter. That's a lot of laws to remember. I mean, it's just when you're going to travel, you need to be prepared. You need to be responsible. Alright? You need to, if you're gonna take on a big responsibility, you need to be responsible. You avail yourself to the state's laws by taking advantage of the state. In California, you can pump your own gas. Yeah, in most states, you pump your own gas. Had a car accident. I vividly remember seeing a van rolled over as I was loaded into an ambulance. The van didn't exist. Your trauma memory sucks. Yep. Oh man, one of my teachers was talking about that. She shared her story about how she had been robbed by somebody, I guess, and she vividly remembered them having like this bright orange hair. And when the police actually caught the guy, like they had him on surveillance tape and everything, he had like black hair. And that was just like a simple robbery. Like her life wasn't in immediate danger or anything. But when you get scared, you remember things incorrectly. You're prone to misremembering. You're prone to misinterpreting. It's, yeah. Care nothing for the $1. Pippa, when I crossed state lines into Wisconsin for a fiery but mostly peaceful riot, and now I'm being detained. Help. Scan Cassie, thank you for the $2. Made it home. How's the stream so far? It's been chaos. Laws on the transportation, concealment, if you choose to carry a firearm, it is your responsibility to understand the laws of the state you carry. And most states require special permits for concealed carry, and not all states recognize the permits of other states. Some states have bans on specific types of weapons, magazines, or ammunition. This is another thing. You need to be aware of what you're carrying and where you're taking it to, alright? You might think, it's just a knife. It's just a knife. But again, there are some parts of the world where just a knife is too much. Stupid things like pepper spray are not allowed in some places. You need to have like special permits for pepper spray in some places, if I remember correctly. It's John Garrison, thank you for the $5. Tactical weapons sway a jury. Makes it look like you're itching to use it as opposed to having it and forced to use it. That is another thing, is worrying about your optics. Yeah, butterfly knives, zombie knives, tactical weapons, you know, flashy gear like this. Flashy gear like this, it's a bad look. It's just a bad look at the end of the day. Yeah, putting Punisher skulls on your guns. Alright? It's just how it is. It's just how it is. It's not fair. It's not fair to the people that actually respect certain pieces of equipment. It's not fair to the people that have these pieces of equipment responsibly. But the sad reality is that there is a stigma against not just certain guns, but certain types of weapons. Just certain types of aesthetics. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. That's why having things that you can use as self-defense that are not necessarily typical self-defense items is very good. Having things to break your windows in the case of an emergency, that is something that you can use in self-defense. Flashlights, big heavy-duty flashlights, something you can use in self-defense. A hatchet for cutting down, like, depending on your area, alright? So I've lived in a lot of areas where tree foliage is very normal, right? Having a tree fall and block the road is very normal. So having things like a hatchet to be able to, like, hook on the trees and, like, pull them out of the way and shit. Very, very good tool to have. Can be used for self-defense. Can be used for cutting down your enemies, yeah. That's a terrible way of saying it, but... What about crossbows? You really wouldn't have a crossbow in your vehicle unless you're coming back from hunting, right? Like, why would you have a crossbow in your vehicle? Why would you have a bow in your vehicle? Right? Like, but like a hatchet, a chainsaw could be... Chainsaw has bad optics, but it could be. It could be, I guess, depending on, like, the season and stuff. Depending on where you live. It's about plausible deniability. Plausible deniability. Because I can, bro, technically you can, but in the court of law, it looks really weird. It's not gonna help you win your case. Chainsaw is an awful weapon, it really is. I fucking hate chainsaws. They make me so nervous. I would rather burn all my energy using an axe. And axes have their own set of danger, right? Like, axe heads coming off is a very real thing. And bad form while using an axe while you're splitting wood can result in you losing a fucking leg. But I'll take that shit over a fucking chainsaw any day, alright? Chainsaws are fucking terrible. That feeling when the chainsaw, like, grips on something and it starts, like, yanking towards you or away from you, I don't like it. I don't like chainsaws! Chainsaws are really fun to cut wood with, though. I strongly disagree. They make me so fucking nervous. Chainsaw gonna kick back on you. I fucking hate it. Alright, thank you for the 420. My 1000 lumen flashlight has a massive heatsink that doubles as a mace. There you go. Skin Cassie, thank you for the $5. My family makes bowls. Having them in my car is normal. Well, if that's something that you can, like, reasonably prove, then there you go. There is no cut and dry situation, alright? It's everyone's situation is different. I almost cut off 3 fingers with a chainsaw. Oh my god, Duck Dick. Guam, turns out you really do have to register yourself when you get a black belt. Well, that's interesting. Hi, Pippa. Hello. Always wear protection when chainsawing? Like what? Like Carhartt pants? There's not much that's gonna protect you from a chainsaw. I mean, glasses. You should have glasses so wood chips don't get in your eyes. But like, wasn't the black belt thing a meme? I have no idea. I have no idea. Plate mail, a cup, chainsaw condom. Some states have bans on specific types of weapons, magazines, or ammunition. Some states restrict carry in certain locations. Federal buildings such as courthouses and post offices are always gun-free zones. Now, I don't know if that includes the parking lot, but it probably does. I don't know actually. I feel like it would. Many states allow private businesses and religious organizations to make their own rules regarding firearms. Typically, violating these rules is not a crime, but can get you in trouble with the organization in question. I'd say only after it's posted. It does? Okay. It does include the parking lot. Alright. Parking lot for public? No. Parking lot for employees? Yes. Well, how do you distinguish? I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't risk it. It's easy enough to park on just the side of the street. But honestly, this is one of those things where I'm not advocating for breaking the law, but it's also like, if you have a gun for emergencies in your glove box and you just go park your car to go pick up your mail or to pick up boxes from the post office, I feel like it's such a don't ask, don't tell kind of thing, right? Like, I mean, if that even, it's so like inconsequential. I guess just don't go to the post office after hunting and have your fucking rifle mounted on your front dash. So, yeah, just don't tell. But then, even then, I feel like most people don't give a shit, right? I guess unless you're in maybe if you're in like a city, people would find it weird. But I feel like rifles mounted on your front dash are just so normal that I don't know if people would, like in the countryside, that I don't know if, I don't think people are gonna raise a stink. It depends on the place. But don't be carrying your gun on you into the post office. Don't have it holstered, don't have it in your purse, whatever. Many states allow private business. It has often been said that it is better to be tried by 12 men than carried by 6. In other words, do whatever it takes to survive. This is what I'm trying to tell you, chat! And worry about the legal consequences afterwards, but you should be aware of them. You should be aware of them. Certainly it is true that you have the right to self-defense under the conditions described, and you should not fail to exercise that right for fear of legal consequences. However, rather than disregarding the legal impact of your choices, it is infinitely better to consider them in advance of encountering dangerous situations, so that you can be prepared to make smart choices before, during, and after an attack. I'm insane, chat. Limo, thank you for $5. Carrying in your vehicle in parking lots for federal property in my state is legal. It's state by state from what I know, but most defer to feds. I was gonna say, like, I feel like, at least in some areas, it's so common. I don't know why it'd be an issue. So what was that pamphlet you guys were telling me about? Laws for self-defense /book? Lawsforselfdefense.com/book or something like that? What was the name of that? I'm trying to scroll through and find it. You look cute today. You look cute today, Drain Kitty. Law of self-defense. Andrew Bankas, the communist. What the fuck? Andrew Branca, Law of Self-Defense. Is that a online thing or is that a book? Law of Self-Defense. I'm so lazy, I never read books. Like this. I read like nice little fiction books that are distracting, and I'll read naval history books, but shit like this is the kind of stuff that I'm used to like Pipkin buying and leaving on the coffee table and nobody ever touches it. Okay, so what is this? Dun, 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 dun. Carry a gun so you're hard to kill, know the law so you're hard to convict. I've heard that. This guy has commercials, doesn't he? I think this guy, unless he stole this slogan from somebody else. I know for a fact I've heard this. I know for a fact I've heard this. He's in on rackets. Maybe that's where I heard it. I don't know. I've definitely heard that slogan. Our mission, make you hard to convict. Let's face it, the world isn't always nice. That's why you take steps to protect yourself and your family. But if you're like most people, your preparations still lack a critical element. You need to know how to survive the fight that looms after an attack, the legal battle. Get information you need at your fingertips. Whether you're a CCW holder from Ohio or a tactical instructor from California, we have many. I have definitely heard this, guys. Jimmy Dad, thank you for the $1. The free book thing is legit. Got a copy a couple months ago. Branka is a recurring guest on Racket Show. Oh. It's real? It's free? Oh, man. Is this a PDF or is this a, It's a download. Maybe I should download it on another thing? It's a free book? You just need to pay for shipping. Oh, man. Shipping is charged. You need to pay shipping on the book, but that's it for your shipping? Learn now. Free trial. Get in. Oh, you can hire him. It's almost like there's an end game to this. Okay, learn now. Are you guys sure this is legit? Are you guys sure this is legit? Dude, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. This kind of like reeks of like the typical looks legit. It does not look legit, dude. Suns is 199.95 legit. Oh god. Bro, I don't know, man. Oh, I shouldn't be clicking on shit. Oh man. Kyle's Law. Wait, I've heard of this. Okay. Stop making me sign up. Stop making me sign up. Dude, he wants to fucking make you pay for everything, dude. He wants to make you pay for everything, dude. The dude's legit. I'm gonna have to actually like properly look into this guy. I'm gonna have to properly look into this guy. This, you guys gotta admit, this is sus as fuck, right? You guys gotta admit, this looks like some P90X shit, right? This looks like some fucking sign up for our free course. It only costs you $19.99 a month. And recruit a friend, and you'll get your money back. After taxes. P90X is legit. Shut up. Not one of us thinking about that, $2. Just ask Nick about Ranka. Alright. Commando Heavy Industry LLC. Thank you for the $5 you can carry in all 50 states if you're not a coward. Jesus, are you a real corporation? Hold on. Commando Industries. Commando Industries. Was this an ad? Or is it a LARP? Commando Heavy Industry. It's a real place. I wonder if it's a LARP. I am now going to look at your products on stream. What you got for sale there, buddy? Ooh, patches. Ooh. You could also get the book at lawofselfdefense.com/gethard. Are you fucking with me? Thank you for the $10. Brazil! Bring Brazil to you. Interesting. Interesting. I'm trying to get management to let me like. So there was gonna be a collab with somebody. I guess I shouldn't say names probably. There was gonna be a collab with somebody. And it's just gotten drawn out and drawn out. Not rackets. Not rackets. Different person. And management was like, oh, well, they're not really a streamer, so maybe just a product review. And then they never, like, continued with that. So I'm just sitting here like, can we do anything? Can we do anything? Yo, collab with Pippa. Man, hit up fucking... What's the business email? hello@faceconnect.com or something like that. Go to @faceconnect on Twitter, man. And if you can get them to let me review your products or interact with your products on stream, man, I'll do it. Acid Yoro, thank you for the $10. Pippa, when are you gonna get the Yeet cannon? Or just like talking about them would be cool. I don't know. I think the stuff is neat. It's just a little difficult to do it in the VTuber sphere. This is another channel that I found. Active self-protection. I don't know how legit this is. This is something that I found specifically for looking for like this kind of content.
Self-defense. Don't ask the question, can I shoot someone? Always ask the question, must I?
Hell yeah! High points are...
I'm John Correa, the
not
founder
good
and owner
enough?
here at Active Self-Protection. Thank
It's
you
pretty
for joining
legit.
us
Ah,
for
it's
today's
very legit.
lesson. It comes to us out of
He
Baltimore,
seemed like the kind of thing that I'd be interested in, but I hadn't heard of him, so it's like...
Maryland in the U.S. After thorough testing, I recently changed my everyday
Fucking
OC spray.
ad!
The news story that I've linked in the description says
Can
that
I?
this
Yes.
guy
Must
getting
I?
into his
Also
car
yes.
right here was trying to cut in line in front of a bunch of people inside the convenience store and generally
It's
being
legit.
a jerk. And
Alright.
the customers in the store didn't have it, weren't
See, you
about
guys
it. And
are
this
also,
guy
like,
over
into
here
this stuff. You guys
particularly
are
was
more
frustrated and upset
into this stuff
about it.
than I am.
And so they had an
I
argument
feel like I'm
about
just kind
it,
of like a
and now it has
surface
spilled
level
over.
enjoyer, right? I'm like surface level, right? I enjoy like audit the audit, donut operator. I enjoy like that kind of shit, right? You guys are way more in deep than I am. Which is just like kind of like a statistic thing, right? Like there's so many of you that it's more likely to... Yeah, this is all too American for me! Listen, man. Listen, man.
Into the gas
Face
station
Connect Bad
portion
Dragon
from
collab,
there,
when?
and
Oh my
they're
God.
going to have a confrontation. We actually
No.
have audio, so let's listen in.
I have too many hobbies to be able to focus in on any particular one. Chat is like an ADHD encyclopedia, it really is. Donut operator isn't surface level? It's like at the... It's like the top of the pile when it comes to like... guns and stuff, right?
The dude who got shot was hit twice and is still in the hospital as far as I know. The guy
Jesus!
in the car tore off out of there and police are still looking for him. That's where this one ends. Crazy stuff.
If
We're
only you
gonna
knew
have
how
to
deep
learn
I
a lot
am.
of
Also, it
lessons
feels like you're
about this
bullying
one.
me in
If you
particular
want to get
tonight!
better as a self-defender, one of the ways you can do that is joining us in our
are
monthly
you alive?
live seminars
You didn't die.
that we do on YouTube here. Those are paid seminars, and
Stop!
August
I don't want your paid
2020,
seminars!
we are doing the first part of legal and moral
Is this one maybe a bit too
self-defense.
extreme to
I
show on
invite you
stream?
to join us. There's a link in the description
Is
if
this
you
allowed?
want to
I
get
don't
more
know.
training in that area.
There's
Let's
no-
think about a bunch of lessons today.
It's all
I think
filmed.
the first lesson out of this one is to be kind to one another, to not be a jerk about things. Especially
This is about telling you shit! Just don't be an asshole! Although I'm talking about it with like cops, right? But like in general, right? In general. If you don't fuck people over, they're not gonna wanna fuck you over, right? In general, if you don't fuck other people over, they're not inclined to do things to you. Right? If you don't act like an asshole on the highway and cut other people off, they're not inclined to fucking smash their car into you and shit, right? Be a good person, chat. Just try and be a good person. James Bond, even $2. You guys are more into this. Don't project Pippa. It's not hard to be nice.
if you're carrying a firearm, you don't want to be cutting in line in front of people and causing verbal arguments and those kinds of things. A lifestyle committed to de-escalation, escape, and avoidance, to being a good, sane, sober, moral person is imperative. On the other guy's side, again, you escalate conflicts and you don't know how.
Naive take is literally not. If you think that's a naive take, you have your head up your ass. If you think that is a naive take, you have your head up your ass. Alright? Being nice to other people, you are less likely to get into an altercation. Alright? That's just how it is. That's just... People who do asshole things to other people are more likely to get their shit kicked in for acting like an asshole. That's just how it is. That's not to say that being a nice person all the time is gonna keep you out of danger, right? People will absolutely take advantage of your niceness, alright? But when you go out of your way to, like, get revenge, when you go out of your way to, like, when you're being an asshole, when you're being inconsiderate of other people on the road and shit, always make it. Do not brake check people.
How far somebody else is willing to escalate it. So let's be kind to one another, give each other a little bit of extra room, and make sure that we're de-escalating as much as we possibly can. Now, as we notice our dude getting in the car here, this other guy's coming towards him and wanting to argue more. Now, let's think about from a tactical perspective. He gets in the car, okay, fine. And now what is the issue? So again, I think getting out of the danger zone a good thing here. Now,
this guy approaches this person shoots them, right? I feel like that's your fuck up. Don't approach another person's vehicle like that. Don't approach another person's vehicle like that, dude. Don't do it. Why would you do it? Why would you do it? Don't approach that person's vehicle. Don't start arguments in public like this. Alright? It's just not worth it. Especially if you're in a bad area. If you're in like a nice, fancy area and shit where like violence never happens, alright, get into your fucking Karen arguments, alright? Don't corner people. That is a big thing with us. Don't fucking corner people. If you're in a bad area, man. I feel like if you're in a normal area, right? Like if you pull up like in the fucking if you're from like a fucking like Hicksville ass town, alright. And you get into an argument. And you've got John Deere. And you've got fucking what's another good fucking fake name? You've got John Deere and you've got Larry Motor. And they get into an argument, alright? Joe Dirt, you got Joe Dirt and John Deere. You got Joe Dirt and John Deere getting into it, alright? They're not pulling guns on each other. Alright? They'll have guns, but they might talk tough, right? Like, you fuck around, man, you gonna find out. You square up with me, Joe Dirt, I'll pull a gun on you. Yo, you step back now. Alright? But they're not gonna shoot each other. Now, if Joe Dirt is not from my little Hicksville town, alright? He might get shot. Alright? There's a difference between like getting into like quarrels and stuff on like home turf versus like outsiders. You know? You know what I mean? People are more likely to view outsiders as like a threat. If he's obviously not, yeah. People. I'm not gonna go too far into that.
When somebody gets into their car, why are you coming towards him?
Are you a little bit
why
hood?
are you trying to escalate that and prove your point? This is an ego.
Fuck no. I am not hood, alright? Hood is like urban area shithole. Alright? I am from like, I mean, I've moved around a lot in my life. But where I've spent like a lot of my life, more like recently, is like, not right now. I've gotten out of, I guess, I don't want to describe where I am right now. But like, the most aggressive place that I've lived in is like backwater trailer park where people fucking there's burnt down houses because people are fucking like making crack and meth and shit, alright? Like backwater redneck kind of situation. Not hood. Not hood.
Battle, plain and simple. And I think the lesson, specifically on his part here, is that when you escalate things like that and you start trying to enforce, this guy not being a jerk, you might end up getting shot, and that's stupid.
Come on,
so
do your
again,
Pippa.
our dude in the car, though, now let's think about from his perspective. First thing I really want to say here, if you're trying to get away from...
Why the fuck would you do that? Why the fuck? You do not open somebody's car door, Chad. You just don't do it. You just don't do it. Why would you open yourself up to that? Why would you open yourself up to that? Why would... You're making... Like Guida said, you're making them feel cornered. You don't know what this person has in their vehicle. Yeah, you're escalating the situation. It's just, like, yeah, there's witnesses around. All right. There's witnesses around. You're less likely to get into an altercation because it's like a very brightly lit area. It's daytime. There's cameras and shit, right? But it's still such a dumb idea. You're still putting yourself in a dangerous situation.
Danger, you get in your car, you lock the doors. I say it all the time here on the
Based. Lock your fucking doors. Get in your car.
channel. Lock your dang doors. If simply his door was locked here, it would have driven off.
But I'm bad about this, right? I'm bad about this. I've been in situations where I needed to be in like a hurry to lock the door, and I'm sitting there like fucking with it, like my hands are shaking, and I'm trying to like fucking hit the button, right? Panicking. This is why you gotta be. This is why you have to go into it with like good. Something. It's a lot easier said than done, right? It's a lot easier said than done to go into like emergency situations. Relax. And everything's different, chat. Everything is different. Alright? Just because you might have gotten in one altercation and things were fine does not mean a second altercation that you will remain calm or that you will be able to go based on instincts or whatever in an emergency situation. Alright? You gotta just try and be as prepared as possible for every situation. Don't trust that you know what you're gonna do. Don't play out these fucking scenarios in your head. Oh yeah, man, if there was a shooter in Walmart, dude, I just tackle them from behind. I'd pull their wrist back, alright, and I'd lock their hands behind their back. I'd have my knee on their back, keeping them like locked down and shit with my center of gravity on them. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Yeah, you are not Jason Bourne. You are not Jason Bourne. You hear this shit with people that are like, they're like fucking like talk about like zombie apocalypse, right? Plans never go as planned. Amen. There's no planning in advance for things. There's only being prepared. Alright? You never know what's gonna happen. You can't plan for every variable. You can't plan for what the aggressor is gonna be like. You can't prepare for what the aggressor is gonna bring. You can't prepare for how aggressive they're going to be. Best thing you can do is play it safe and be prepared.
Off, this guy would have, been mad and screamed and hollered and given him the middle finger or whatever. But that's
Pippa,
where
this is like
it
saying
ends
the
in
obvious.
that case.
Yeah, well,
so especially
you know what they
if
say
you're
about
going
common
about
sense.
armed in this world, and I think it's a dangerous world, and I certainly go about armed and
Everyone's got
recommend
a plan until they
it.
get
Lock
punched in
your
the face.
doors when you get in the car, particularly in transitional spaces like this, and especially
because this is the thing, alright? Saying things like it's obvious. It sounds obvious. These things sound obvious. Everything sounds obvious, alright? Right now. Right now. I guarantee if I asked you, what would you do if your house caught fire right now? You'd say, I'd escape out the door, right? You'd say like, yeah, I have a plan, alright? And if I asked you to break down that plan, what is actually the plan? Put that shit out on paper, right? These things sound obvious. But depending on the situation, you don't actually know what's gonna happen. You can only be prepared for it. It sounds like an obvious thing to have a plan on how to escape your house if there's a fire. But if I ask 10 people, I feel like at least 8 of them are gonna be like, oh, I mean, I just like head out the door, right? I jump through the window. Okay, what if your window? What if you can't open the window? What if you were just in a situation where you just woke up from sleep? You had the dryer going or whatever, or maybe like it's an electrical fire and it just started. What are you gonna do then? Alright? There's a fire blocking the windows. Or you go to the window, you're panicking, you can't get it open. You don't realize the window's locked. And you're trying to fuck with the lock and shit, you're panicking, you're trying to get it out. What about your valuables? What about other people that might be around you? What about animals? You just have to try and be as prepared as possible. Respond, I guess! You have to be as prepared as possible. You just gotta... What's the point, Pippa? The point is that people will acknowledge things as being obvious, right? I need to have a fire extinguisher in my house, right? That's like an obvious thing. You need to have a fire extinguisher. Alright? Now, what do you do when you don't actually have a fire extinguisher because you never actually went out and bought one? What about when your fire extinguisher is in the middle of your burning down kitchen and you can't get to it? Yeah, what about when your fire extinguisher has been left in that house since the previous owners and your fire extinguisher is expired? Alright? These things, like, they sound like they're obvious. Like, I just use a fire extinguisher. But dude, it's not just like that. It's not like that. These things that sound like they're obvious, they're just not always, man. That's just how it is.
If somebody's getting frustrated. Now, I think that OC spray might have been a good choice here. Guy gets in my face and those things, man, I'm going to hose him with the OC. So instead, right there, I mean, you're thinking about this right from this perspective.
You need a backup plan for the backup plan.
Getting in your face, aggressive, postured like he is. This is why I think carrying a less lethal tool like an OC spray is so important. Because if, again, when he comes up and opens that door, if you hose him down with the hot sauce right there, you use enough force to get him out of your space. You close the door, you call 911, you get out of there and wait for the cops. You don't end up having to shoot somebody. You don't end up with that level of use.
Exactly. You should not need to use lethal force in a lot of situations. It should not be your go-to answer for everything. Your go-to answer should not be to fucking pull out a gun. It's... yeah. No less lethal, it's garbage, it might not work, or it might still kill depending on what you use. I mean, that's a reality of life, is that there's variables. A reality of life is that there's variables. You use pepper spray on somebody. They're allergic to pepper. They die anyways. Okay. You use a gun. You go to shoot somebody, your fucking gun jams. You go to fucking beat somebody with a baton. It slips out of your goddamn hand because your hand is sweaty. Alright? Like, you can't account for everything. You cannot account for everything. Clear the jam, Pippa. Well, in that time, maybe the person comes up and they clock you in the skull.
So force. Use enough force early. You may not have to use more later, and that's a really wise thing. Now, of course, we're going to get in here and
clean the firearm. Man, depending on your ammo, that doesn't always matter.
He punches this guy through the door.
Cheap ammunition
This is
sucks.
assault. This is escalating the conflict. This tells me that, again, think that guy in the white t-shirt is not a good dude. I mean, you don't just, yell at somebody and then punch them for cutting in front of the line for you or whatever. Now, we can't hear what was said and this and that, and I don't know that. But you don't use hands to solve problems, friends. We use words because we're adults and we live in civilized society.
Big shock! Big shock! Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fuck... it just... We live in a society. It sounds obvious, right? It sounds obvious. We live in a civilized society. But you know what? Plenty of people are not that civilized. And if you're one of those people that thinks that taking a gun into any situation is the answer, You make everybody else who owns a gun look bad, and you're a piece of shit. You should not be allowed to own one. That's just.
So this is.
That's not like my. That's not like a fucking like objective thing or whatever. That's just. I personally think you are a piece of shit.
Not cool, but let's
I
think
think you
about
are
how
making
this
the wrong
goes down.
decision.
Now our dude in the car starts to get out of there, and what you recognize here, that was the guy in the white shirt's phone, by the way, is he
Going right back into it. The person tries to escape the scene. They drive forward. This person instigates again. Then what's the point of owning a firearm? The fact that you have to ask that means you should not have a gun. If you have to ask what's the point of owning a firearm except for using it as a way of applying lethal force in a self-defense situation, means you should not have a firearm.
pulls forward,
I don't
stops,
even need to
and then
entertain that.
reopens his door. Now, from the perspective of the use of deadly force, you might say, okay, wait a minute, John. He had a big, strong, fast attacker who had already assaulted him and was coming for more. Could he reasonably say that he was in fear of great bodily harm because of the disparity of size? Maybe. But remember, we're going to have problems here because, number one, this is in a duty to retreat state. Number two, he is in a
Fucking duty to retreat states, man. Fucking duty to retreat states, man. This guy's fucked, then. This guy is absolutely fucked. How would you even be able to argue anything? Like, you're continuously harassing this car. Continuously harassing this car in a duty to retreat state. You just gotta take the L, I guess.
a car that is in gear and ready to go. He
He
has
retreated?
to retreat if he
The car retreated. I don't know if they're actually gonna get punished, right? Because they continuously gotta go. But at the same time, they could have just drove off. They didn't need to apply lethal force. The driver did not need to apply lethal force. It feels like the time they've spent possibly reaching for their gun and everything, they could have just drove off and called the police.
has the means to do so safely, and he does have that means here, so he has what we call preclusion problems.
both
He
in the
has a
wrong.
better choice. Even in a stand your ground state, the far better choice here is just to
Look at
drive
these
off and get away
$5.
from the guy. The fact that he stopped
You think John
and
Wick watches
re-engaged
self-defense
himself
videos?
says
Maybe.
that he's going to have problems with a legal use of force claim here. Now, next thing I want to talk about is the fact that, okay, so he gets after the guy and shoots at him and hits him there one time. Okay. Again, but notice this next shot that came in. Notice that it broke the window on the red car. You can see the glass break there. So
This person right here could have lost their fucking life. This is why you don't shoot around other people. You don't shoot in crowded areas. This is why you don't shoot people in you don't shoot in urban areas. All right? Variables. This is another reason on top of why, beyond just why you shouldn't try to kill somebody as your first resort, is why you should not use a gun in this kind of situation as a top priority. It should not be a top priority to pull out your gun and shoot at somebody like this, alright? Because you're endangering other innocent civilians as well. I'm not saying you shouldn't shoot at all in this kind of situation, right? I'm saying if this, like, I don't even know how you would justify it in this situation, right? It's not killing, it's neutralizing a threat. If you're aiming to neutralize a threat, that is very different from the people that are just trying to fucking, like, have a reason to shoot people as well. But that's like a different thing. But I don't see any scenario here. If it's shoot or die, if that's what it comes down to, that's what it comes down to. But in this situation, the white car can just drive off and the aggressor can just fuck off, right? This is not a situation, even if you're in a stand your ground state, it's just not worth engaging. You are endangering other people. It's just not worth it. Just drive off. You don't need to shoot this guy. You can just drive off. You can call the police. Alright? Risking this other person's life
If you use a firearm in self-defense, even from these close distances, you got to be able to hit what you're aiming at. And that means having a high level of skill. Because there was a passenger seated in the passenger seat there that he had to miss by the skin of his teeth. And he could easily have killed a bystander here as well. Now, he gets 4 shots off, gets 2 hits, and then...
Jesus Christ. Wait, is there somebody in that car? No, there's not. Okay. Yeah, that woman could have just lost her fucking life. That was pretty fucking close. What is that, like 4 feet of distance between them? Between this window being generous?
Last bit of him driving off,
like,
and not sticking around, not getting to a safe place, calling 911, getting the cops there and all that stuff. It really speaks to something here. It speaks to what we call mens rea, or again, the evil intent or the bad mind. And generally speaking, the person that wins the race to 911 is going to be seen as the initial victim in these kinds of instances. So if our dude had pulled out and then gotten on the phone with 911 and waited down the block for cops to get there and then figure all this out, we might have a better chance of saying, man, he was just really scared in the moment. And
did he say mens rea? Or means rea? I don't know how exactly he said it, but it's mens rea.
Now we're talking about good tactics or whatever. But the fact that he drove off and didn't call 911 really speaks to me that he probably isn't a good, sane, sober, moral person. And therefore, he's probably in a spot where he's going to have real trouble with charges.
Yeah. Should not have pulled out the gun. Should not have pulled out. There was no reason to pull out your gun in this situation. I am all for guns. I enjoy shooting guns. I believe in having a weapon on you for self-defense. Alright, but this is... itchy trigger finger, yeah?
Charges. So, let's make sure we learn the lessons out of this one. De-escalate, escape, and evade. Make sure that you lock your doors. If you are carrying a...
irresponsible people like this make everybody else look bad. You don't look cool, you don't look gangster, you don't look smart, you don't look hip, you don't look tactical. That sounded so fucking boomer. Yeah, it's none of this. It's none of this. You're just fucking cringe. You're just fucking cringe. You look like a try-hard piece of shit that has no idea what they're doing. Yeah, bloodthirsty. Fucking... It's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. You don't look gangster. You look gangster in that you look like a fucking like piece of shit street rat. Alright? It's not cool. It's not cool.
Firearm in public. I do, and I recommend you do. It's gun on, ego off. And
yeah, gun on,
make sure that you get out of the danger zone if at all possible. Lock your doors, and remember, marksmanship counts, friends. Lots of lessons in this one.
If you do not know off the top of your head what doors in your house have locks on them, either right now, just do it fucking right now because it's important to know, or after the stream, whatever, you should know every spot in your house that has locked doors. Alright? You should know all of them. A lot of houses don't have locks on all the doors, right? You have a lock on your front door, you have a lock on your back door. Alright? Do you have a lock in your bathroom door? Do you have a lock in your bedroom door? Do you have a lock in your going to the basement? What doors have escape routes? What doors have easy to access windows? If you need to get out of the house in an emergency situation, you have a gunman inside your house, you want to escape, what is the easiest access point to escape your house? What is the easiest access point for them to get into your house? You should know these things. The panic room. Panic rooms are way too expensive for most people. And I'm thinking for the $1. What if I hold my gun sideways? Am I gangster now? Fuck off. Super unbounding of $5. I've got a set of treats. I've trained my cat to associate with the sound of fire alarms, so I can get her when the sound of the alarm goes off. That is really fucking cool. Super Iron Bulb. That is really fucking cool. I'm gonna read that again, chat. Listen to this. I've got a set of treats. I've trained my cat to associate with the sound of fire alarms, so I can get her when the alarm goes off. That is fucking cool. That is fucking cool. Did you know Leaflet has a panic room? Leaflet has like a whole fucking bunker, doesn't she? Leaflet is really cool. You will literally never have this problem if you never leave the bunker! Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Man, thinking ahead. It's also a good idea to train your pets. If your animals are not trained, it's just a very basic thing to get them to come when they're called. Alright? Just a very basic thing. You might think, I don't take my dog anywhere, it doesn't really matter. My dog doesn't piss on the carpet or whatever, so it's not imperative. Just teach your dog basic commands. Teach your dog to sit, teach your dog to stay. Cats, there's ways to teach your cat to come when they're called. Alright? It's just very good preparedness. Should probably not click on the ones with guns. Let's see. I'm gonna click on this guy's channel. I'm gonna check some videos on another tab. And I'm gonna bring him over. Oh wait, what was the other one I got? Oh wait. I think oh, this one! This one. This is what I actually
Doing
watched.
something to protect yourself
Oh, shit, that's loud.
is better than doing nothing.
This one was pretty fucking cool.
Welcome to today's active self-protection lesson. I'm your host, John Correa. Today's video is actually two separate
Train a Rabbit, come on,
incidents,
it's called, yep.
one out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and one out of South Carolina, both in the
PC
United
years.
States. There are live fire training tools and dry fire training tools. Mantis X is the only one that
fuck
does
off,
both.
ads.
It will change the way you shoot for the better. It
Stop.
has helped me immensely. This guy is just kind of moseying
He's shooting
into his
beer
house,
cans like the rest of
1:30 in
us.
the morning. You can see that there, a little cool in the desert in December, so he's got a beanie on. He looks up, and dude is pointing a gun at him and demanding his wallet. Guy is actually going to swat the gun away, which
Is
makes
that a
the bad
guy?
guy try to chamber it, and he's just going to walk off and ignore the dude. Now, this next one, again, if you're watching, this guy I think is an Uber driver, and you're going to see him just kind of mosey through. He's just getting
See,
from
chat?
A to B, when all of a sudden he's going to come around the corner and come upon some crazy. We actually have a little bit of audio to hear on this one. Let's hear how
God,
the
I can't.
encounter goes.
I'm guessing this is spit. Jesus. Fucking Twicker! Get the fuck out!
Well, that's scary. He just decides at this point to start bumping him with the bumper,
Ah,
and guy's
what
not
the
having it, trying
fuck,
to push
man?
his car back. But eventually, dude's going to figure out that's the wrong way to go. Our victim is going to floor it and get the heck out of the danger zone, and that is where this one ends. I guess at the end of
Fucking
things,
crackhead,
they
yeah.
both
They're not
work,
trying
but
to
we
find
got to
a
think
car.
about some lessons here. Get better this year with your defensive firearms and your empty-handed skills
Jesus.
and your emotional and spiritual
dash
fitness
cam
by
for the
joining us
win. Get a
at the
dash
Ask
cam,
National
Jack.
Conference.
They're not that
September 27,
expensive.
28, 29 at
They're
Tall
a
Grass Shooting
worthwhile
Sports in
investment.
Manhattan, Kansas. Link in the description with all kinds of information. It's all for a good cause. Out of today's video, I want to think about
kept on
getting
going
out of the
forward,
danger
yeah,
zone when that's possible. I also want to think about emotional fitness and staying present in the moment. And then I want to think about suboptimal actions versus taking the best choice to protect yourself in the moment. So guys coming home late at night, whatever, paying attention is a critical skill. Attention buys you time.
Plus
Time
the
buys you
tweaking was
options. And
blowing
we see
spit
him
up.
looking up here, but doing something about it incredibly critical. So the guy's popped up, and Guy is certainly pointing a gun at him at this point before we can see him on camera. What are you going to do at this point? Well, guys, you got to recognize that paying attention earlier might have prevented this all the way through, but sometimes these things are unavoidable, so you got to have a plan in place in order to act. Now, our guy here doesn't look like much of a
I can't believe what
self-defender,
this guy
but
does.
dude's going to come up and put a
I
gun in his
can't
face,
fucking-
and he's just going to kind of swat at that gun with his hand.
I would not fuck around with that. I would not fuck around. Because even if the person's not intending to shoot you, right? Even if the person's not intending to shoot you, if they have their finger on that trigger, you know, accidents happen. Accidents happen. This guy, alpha energy as fuck, but I would not risk it. Yeah, not the best idea. I don't think it's... I don't think this is necessarily a smart decision.
That is a suboptimal plan, friends. If you're going to
There
go
you go! Suboptimal! Suboptimal.
with the guy, if you're going to try to resist him, don't play patty cake. The only reason this guy didn't get shot is because this guy's not a murderer. If you're going to try to keep
Even if the guy is not a murderer. Alright, again, accidents happen. Accidents happen. Alright, accidents happen when you're out shooting deer. Accidents happen when you're trying to swat a fucking gun away from somebody. Alright? Like, gun accidents are already something that I feel like most people are aware of, right? So why create a situation that's very prone to create an accident.
Keep that muzzle off of you. It's time for the 5Ds plus 1. It's time to control distance and then deflect, dominate, distract, disarm, and disable. It's not time to paw at the gun because you're trying to see, oh, is this guy really for real? Thankfully, in this instance, he wasn't. But if he was, you would have had nothing but a bullet hole in you to show for it. So go for it if you can. Now, notice how fast our bad guy's able to get his gun back on target. This is why I say don't just paw at guns, because it just distracted him for just a second. It might buy you a half second, but probably no more than that, which is why it is a terrible idea. Now, if you're gonna
And it can piss off the person, all right? They might not have been aggressive before, but you might have just pissed them off. You might have just incentivized them. They might have, something might have fucking clicked in their mind. They might have been like, you know what? I am a gangster. I'm gonna fuck this guy up, all right? This guy fucked with me. I'm gonna fuck him up. He thinks he's tougher than me. Can become an ego thing.
You're gonna defend yourself, just
Don't
go.
fuck around,
And
man.
now this guy decides
fuck
instead
around.
he's just gonna kind of mosey out of the danger zone. And again, the only thing that kept him from being
fucking eye
hurt here is
itches.
that this guy's not a killer. Now, thankfully, that makes him just a resource predator. He's trying to get the guy's money or whatever, and that's all well and good, but I would never trust my safety to the hands of a violent felon. Somebody's willing to point a gun at you. Now, I might bet that that gun...
Fuck no, man. In this situation, I would have dropped my bag. I would have, like, put my hands up. I would have just been like, yep. Alright. If somebody fucking, like, got the better of me like this, like, they sneak up on me, they have a fucking gun like this, no, don't fuck around, man. Don't fuck around.
Probably wasn't real, certainly wasn't loaded
Just comply.
at that
It's
point.
not worth your
That's all
life.
well and good, but you can't tell those
Your groceries are not worth your life. Your wallet's not worth your life. You can cancel your credit card right after this, alright? You get back inside, you call 911, you report the incident, you cancel your credit card. Yeah, nothing is more important than your life. Looking cool is not worth your life. And on, thank you for the 333. This dude is a charlatan. Everyone knows the 5 real D's are dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. 5 D's of dodgeball, hell yeah.
those things in the moment. So if you're going to be a self-defender, be a competent self-defender, not a lucky one, but sometimes luck's enough. Now, our other one that's a driving situation here. Okay, fine. Dude's out late at night. Again, he's Ubering, whatever.
We could have a cool story now. Where's the rest, dude?
That's great, but be aware of what's coming in your world and take appropriate follow-up actions. Now, dude's going to come
love
across
cool
some
guys.
crazy,
Girls don't
and
love
you
dead
can't
guys,
always
though.
prevent that. This dude here, all of
Necrophilia
a
is
sudden,
illegal.
now, if we remember the original, he honks his horn at the guy. This was a punitive action. Again, your horn is designed to be protective. Let other people know where you're at. Not designed to be punitive and tell other people that they're stupid. And that's how he used it here. And I don't recommend that. And the reason I don't recommend it is that it inflames problems. It causes road rage. It gets guys angry. Far better here, hit the brakes, put it in reverse, get some space between you and this guy instead of letting him bang on your hood and making things worse. Use your vehicle. You've got this vehicle, which is the best self-defense tool that you probably have in your arsenal. And instead of letting that guy bang on your hood, get the heck out of there. Now, instead, our good guy decides to go forward on him. This is
I mean, he might have been shocked. Like, if something like this happened to me, I would probably be frozen in shock. Alright? Like, just being blunt. You know, chat, like... if something like this fucking happened to me, I'd probably be sitting there like, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck? What in Messville just fucking happened? Mr. Here, I think you're the 222 Giga Chat really just said, nah, I don't feel like being mugged tonight and dipped. Yeah. It's like, frozen in shock leads to bad things. Yeah, but it's just a natural reaction to things, man. I'm not saying what you should do is be shocked and not react. I'm saying what is likely for me to happen. I'm probably gonna be shocked. I'm gonna be fucking dumbfounded at what just happened. It's a fucking surreal moment,
is
man.
dangerous because that guy loses his footing, goes under your wheels, and now you've got all kinds of problems with the law. Now you've got all kinds of stuff. Now you might be able to defend it. You might be able to say, hey, this guy scared me. I was just trying to get out of the way. I went slow, whatever. But you're still going to have to explain all that and pay a lawyer hundreds of dollars an hour to try to concoct a story and to help you tell that story to the district attorney to not get charged and to the jury. So far better to put that vehicle in reverse and get the heck out of there that way. Of course, we can't see behind him, so he might have had somebody behind him. I don't think so on these deserted roads, though. But I do commend him for at least giving the guy some opportunity and not flooring it and running him over, but kind of pushing until the guy got off to the side enough. And then as soon as it was safe, he hit the gas and used his vehicle effectively. So let's think about suboptimal, answers here and try for optimal answers. Let's think about making sure that we recognize the danger of the rules of stupid, particularly being late at night. Let's do the right things to cover our asp.
Reversing is illegal on the roadway. Well, in a self-defense situation like this, if your option is to potentially run somebody over by fleeing or to hit the reverse, you're probably better off hitting the reverse. But I don't feel like this is really fair, right? I don't feel like that was kind of like a fair analysis. Because you don't know what's behind the guy. You don't know if you do start backing up. What if somebody else pulls up behind you and they're now like slamming into you, right? Because you're backing up. What if there are, like somebody in chat said, what if there's people behind, like what if he's part of a group and they're trying to ambush you like that? Unlikely, but it is a very real scenario. I feel like proceeding slowly like that was probably the best option. If the guy had fallen or whatever, then you hit the brakes. But it's... I don't know if I would have risked backing up. I'll drive the required civilians to protect myself in a self-defense situation. Oh my god. Also, this guy and his channel is just Monday night quarterbacking. Perfect carjacking defense. Oh, successfully defends against armed robber. This one will be cool. Hold on, let me check this video, make sure it's safe.
As a self-defender in an armed robbery, we say it again. And however, as an intimidator, this is a pretty good opportunity for those things. Absolutely, yes. It's notice yourself on the floor.
Okay, we're good. There's a gun on screen, but nobody gets shot.
As a self-defender in an armed robbery, we say it again
I'm
and
sorry!
again. Wait your turn and take your turn.
It's late, let us sleep. Last video
Thanks
for the night.
for joining us on today's active self-protection lesson. I'm your host, John
For the
Correa.
hearing damage
Today's
miracle.
video
You're
comes to
welcome.
us from Bay Point, California in the United States. The new Mantis X10
Stop,
firearms
man.
performance system has all the goodness of the original, plus holster draw
Oh, off topic
analysis
but gun
and
related.
recoil
Mama Kin just sent
analysis.
me a
It's
photo recently.
fantastic
She just
upgrade,
got
and I
some new
recommend it
guns.
highly. This one's a doozy, friends.
She got them all like decked out and shit with like fucking stickers and fucking not like decked. It's not like fucking covered in like decal stickers, right? But it's got like it's very showy. She recently got a very showy, brightly colored gun, and she's all decked out with shit.
Hold on to your hats. The clerk here is a veteran working at this place.
Is it tactical?
part-time,
She's very into
and
tactical.
He's gonna have a couple of guys come in from the top right of the screen.
Mama Kin is very tactical.
Give me her thing. Put your hand in.
Oh, fuck, man! Holy shit! Never mind. God damn. God damn, man. You fuck around, man. Like, why fuck around, dude? Why fuck around, man? Oh.
You okay?
Oh, God.
Are you okay? You okay?
The perp who he shot ended up shuffling off this mortal coil in the parking lot. His accomplice is still being looked for. Our good guy ended up with 12 staples in his head, but...
Wait, was that one of the robbers? Was that one of the robbers? Wait, what the fuck just happened? Did he grab the phone and like head out? Yeah, what the fuck did he just take? Hold on. Oh, did he grab the gun? Oh, I think he might have grabbed the gun. Oh, he grabbed the gun and chased after them.
Ended up shuffling off this mortal coil in the parking
Okay, no. So I think it's just a customer. He's taking the gun. He's going out to make sure everything's
lot.
clear.
His accomplice is still being looked for. Our good guy ended up with 12 staples in his head, but he is going to make a full recovery, and that's where this one ends. Incredible heart and skills by that clerk.
Oh, I didn't click through to see if there was anything else. Yeah, no, it's just... Yeah, I did click
A
through.
question for
Yeah,
you
it's just
out of
one
this
thing.
one. He took that hit upside the head with the gun and stayed mentally present long enough to defend himself. Have you ever taken a hit like that, whether in training or even in real life, and were you
Risky
able to
as
stay
F,
mentally
yeah.
present like that? I think it's an important part of emotional fitness, so I'm interested in what your experience has been.
I
Leave
wanna
a
do
comment.
that.
I'll interact
Fuck
with
no.
as many as I can. Let's think about some important lessons out of this one. Really, the first lesson here is on the design of these kind of stores and paying attention in your world. You can see this guy walk in here
I don't know
with
about skills,
sunglasses
yeah.
on, his face covered, a hood up, and all that stuff. Those are all red flags.
7-Eleven
friends.
has no
However,
resistance
the way
policy.
these stores are designed, because they want to maximize
Thank you
the
for the
space
$2
where they can
skin
put their
khaki.
wares and those kinds of things, that really limits your ability to see, especially because he's got that register stuck all the way in the back there. If you work in one of these kinds of environments, friend, you want to put yourself in a place where you can see.
I mean, he has all these security cameras and everything, right? I don't think his vision is really that impaired. I feel like this is just kind of like it's a very like a natural environment, right? It's very closed off. It's like a typical store. S to spit? What? No, fuck you, Spider Dude. Thank you for the $10 though. And he's got lots of security cameras.
See, because again, attention buys you time.
No, I'm not
and
gonna
time
spit.
buys you options, and these are important things in the moment. By the time our clerk looks up to see, hey, I need to serve that customer,
and he's
guy's
counting
already
money.
passed him. And then the guy is just gonna jump behind the counter here, and now our clerk looks up and goes,
Stop
oh, what's
spinning
going on?
ass!
Now,
What
friends,
the
I can't
fuck?
tell you enough. When somebody, is going to violate a social boundary like that, expect they're going to violate more. Be ready to protect yourself very.
No, I think it's good. I think it's good to expect it. It's good to be prepared. But I gotta say, like, my initial mindset, if somebody hops the barrier, is not they're gonna rob me. It's that they're being, like, probably like a punk ass kid, and they want something behind the counter, like a package of cigarettes, and they're not, like, waiting for me to go get it.
Very, very quickly in the moment. Now,
My
notice
initial
here
thought
that
would
our
not
clerk
be immediate
gets his
threat.
hand on the gun. So
But then
when
he
we
pulled
talk
out the
about,
gun,
hey, wait
so-
a minute, am I going to draw a gun or whatever? Oftentimes, this guy comes right in here. He's pointing a gun at our clerk, and then our clerk gets his hand on the gun, but only
They're
for
gonna
a
rob you?
second. Many
You should
times,
never
that
relax.
first
Ideally,
time
you
is
should
the
never
best
relax.
time to disarm somebody. Again, you better be trained to do.
But that's one of the things, right? Is you get caught up in, like, the monotony of life. No reasonable person jumps over a counter. No, but also it's not always. Listen. Maybe I've been jaded, right, or desensitized by all of these, like, Karen videos. I recommend. No, fuck off, Alamau. They give it the 420 though. Maybe I've been desensitized by, like, these Karen videos and shit, right? But there's so many people, right? Like, people have such fucking audacity. People are so willing to betray social norms and social etiquette, right? That, like, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody just hopped over the fucking counter to, like, get cigarettes and shit. I would assume something like that over they're gonna
that,
try and
you
rob
better
me.
be ready for that opportunity and just go for it in that moment. Don't pause. So his problem here, he just pawed at the gun, and so the guy's going to draw it back. But if you really went hard and understood the 5Ds+1, probably could have taken the gun away from him in that moment pretty easily because he wasn't expecting it.
Society
now
has
that
failed
said,
me.
once he paws at it,
Society
the
has
guy
failed
shows
these
up
people
with the
too.
leveraging arm. So when we talk about the 5Ds+1, when we talk about disarming an armed attacker, when you yourself are not armed, and at this point the clerk is not armed, do you know that the gun that he got was in the drawer? You better do so quickly. You better have all of the attitude, skills, and plan, because they're going to bring that leveraging arm into play, and with a gun-wielding opponent, they always use that leveraging arm to push and keep you away and keep you from getting their gun, and that's exactly what he did here. Now then, smacks him with the gun. Now there's a rule that we have here at Active Self-Protection. It's not an inviolate rule. However, if a guy uses a gun as an intimidation tool, if he hits you with the gun, strikes you with the gun, doesn't pull the trigger but strikes you with the gun, it is not likely that he is willing to use that gun to shoot you. That's not to say that the gun isn't real. We saw this guy have a negligent discharge. That gun is real. It's not to say it's not loaded. But oftentimes, if he hits you with the gun, he is using the gun
Right
as
on
an
the pause, it could've been
intimidation
shot.
tool,
He could've
and
been
that can
shot.
help you as a self-defender understand the actual threat that you're facing and then protect yourself. He hits him with it several times and then goes to get it here. And you see it takes the clerk a moment to get his bearings back. Again, the dude ended up with 12 staples in his head. Very difficult to come back.
God, like, I'm sorry. In this situation, chat, I probably look like the biggest fucking coward in the world, chat. I'm sure you guys are like, oh man, Pippa is such a fucking coward. All right, but, like, Jesus Christ, getting overpowered once. Why? Why bother again, chat? Why bother? He gets back up. He gets back up. He goes for the gun from the fucking drawer. Why? Why? Why would you do that? It's not worth your fucking life, dude! How are you gonna... You tackle this guy down to the ground. He has a buddy. He has a fucking buddy in the store. That buddy can pull up on you and fucking pop a cap in you, man. Why bother? Why bother? You're risking your life for nothing!
Back from, this is why
Just
emotional fitness
file
is
an
so
insurance
important
claim!
in order to get your bearings back around you in order to protect yourself. Now then, he is going to get and decide at this moment, I'm going to get a gun and shoot.
There's no guarantee he won't shoot you anyway. There's no guarantee that his fucking buddy, if you manage to apprehend this guy, right? You manage to dominate this guy, you push him to the ground, you take his fucking gun, alright? Calling police and shit, right? Suddenly his buddy, I don't know where his buddy went. I think his buddy's like back here stealing shit or something. Now comes back around because this guy's probably screaming for help. And the guy starts threatening you with a gun. And now you have to back off. You gain nothing. You're overpowered.
Shoot this guy, and he chooses a pretty good opportunity.
Does he see the
dropped
buddy,
a bunch
though?
of money on the floor.
I would assume
and so
they're
he's
like
not paying
yelling back
attention
and
to
forth
our
with each
clerk.
other. Maybe
You
not
can see
though.
the big cut on his scalp, but he uses this as his chance to
But
launch.
that's another thing, right? Is you don't know how many people are there. You don't know all the variables in the situation. He won, so he was right. He didn't win. He didn't win anything, though. He got his shit kicked in. The guy still managed to take his money and leave.
A counter ambush. Well, that's all well and good. The problem, of course, is that counter ambush doesn't come from his own firearm on his person, but he's got to go get it out of the drawer. I do not recommend keeping a gun on, in the store, on the counter, or in a drawer or whatever, because you see, as soon as the bad guy sees what's going on, he is diving into the fight and recognizes that he's in a fight for his life at this point. This is very important. Had the clerk had the gun on him, I don't think he would have been at such incredible, significant personal risk of his life, because he would have been able to counter ambush this guy and put a couple shots.
And now he's also suspect of injury, right? His hand's gonna get slammed in this even more injury, even more disorientation.
Shots in him before the guy even knew what was going on, rather than hearing the drawer.
The robber
and all that
died. Oh
stuff.
wait,
So
did he
I
actually kill
really
the robber?
recommend keep the gun on your person, not as just part of the store, and keep it behind the counter or whatever. Now then, notice that he has a crazy fight on his hands right now. And this grounded fight is in a weaponized environment with live firearms. I can't tell you enough.
God.
if you are training, especially you're doing jiu-jitsu or something
what they're
like that,
spelling
every
F,
once in a while.
man.
Now, of course, certainly not with real guns, but I
Watch
can't
your
tell you,
ears!
I really
Paying
recommend
attention to
add
multiple
some
things,
weapons
man.
into that. Add some blue guns, add some blue training knives or something like that. Something that really makes you recognize, man, this fight's maybe a little bit different than a submission-only environment, or where I'm looking for those things that I got to control hands and wrists and muzzle directions and those kind of things. It really
I
is.
think the other person killed the robber. That would make more sense to me, because I don't see where this guy ever got a shot off on this guy.
Interesting, and you should have some of that. Now, notice here that our bad guy right here, he hits him once, and then the second time he comes down, his finger is on the trigger, and he has a negligent discharge. Now, thank God that gun wasn't pointing at our victim in that moment. But never expect a bad guy to...
It could have been pointing at the victim. Negligent disfire. He could have been fucking pointing it off this way. It could have fucking shot through the shelves, hit one of the customers.
Be safe with a firearm. When somebody says, well, John, he's just waving a gun around, he's not
shot
really
himself?
a
Did
deadly
he shoot
threat.
himself?
Hogwash. This guy is a deadly threat. First of all, he's doing great bodily harm to our clerk who needed 12 staples in his head. Second of all, he is dangerous because he's stupid with a gun, and so it's completely reasonable for the clerk to get a gun out and shoot this guy. Now, we're going to have to talk here for a minute and stop, because right here is where the clerk shot him. You can just barely see the puff of clouds between the two little boxes
The
on
clerk
the bottom in
did
the
shoot
middle.
him.
And the clerk in that moment has shot him and has shot him in the back. And is it reasonable for him to shoot him in the back? Unequivocally, absolutely, yes. It's completely reasonable for him to have shot this guy in the back. There is
Cops always tell me no.
1.35 seconds between this clerk smacking him in the head, having a negligent discharge. So the clerk doesn't know that it was negligent. He just hears this guy take a gunshot at him, and then he turns his back. Clerk has no idea, and in all the continuity of motion, that guy, whether he's fleeing or just finding a better spot or what. So is it reasonable for the clerk to have...
Pippa, you did say go for the back. I've been told you do not shoot in the back because it is harder to defend. It is harder to defend in court. It makes it look like the guy was running away and that you didn't need to apply lethal force.
Shot him in this moment. Absolutely. Dude has a gun, has hit him with
And
that
Jerry
gun,
might have
has
opinions.
shot that gun in his vicinity and threatened him with it utterly reasonable. And that goes to the idea
Depends on
that
the
it's
state.
really not about where you shoot someone, it's why you shoot them. And even in California, the police don't have any problems with this. Believe it or not, the self-defense laws in California are pretty good. It's the gun laws that are miserable. So shooting him in the back here, completely okay. But notice this guy is mortally wounded, shot in the back. But I want you to pay attention as the clerk gets up. Notice that this guy who is dead already, he is absolutely mortally wounded, but he still has a gun up and is threatening. That is about 3.5 seconds after he has been mortally wounded, and yet he's still a deadly threat. Just because you shoot someone, friends, it's not Hollywood. They are not going to go flying across the room in a spatter of blood and then fall dead there. No, you're going to have to continue to defend yourself. And I love that our clerk is still looking for a threat and recognizing what's going on. Now, of course, this guy's buddy has run off as well, but that's, fine because there's no honor among thieves. Now, dude runs out, and I do like the fact that the clerk is taking good care of himself here, getting himself down behind concealment. I think that's wise. Not taking that shot, because if you look up here in the aisle, notice that his buddy, the owner of the store, is actually coming out right there.
Oh.
And if he had shot while that guy was running from his left to his right and missed that guy, could have gone through those aisles really easily and hit his friend. So when we talk about the rules of firearms safety, you only take good shots. You make sure the only safe direction is the bad guy. Watch where you're pointing that muzzle, friends, because his buddy is coming out from around the corner there.
Little guy wasn't
Couple
even
other
older,
things
I guess
I really
not.
want you to ingrain the rules
younger
of firearm
guys.
safety. This clerk did a great job of protecting himself. I'm not bagging on him at all, but do you notice here that his finger is on the trigger of this gun? He's not prepared to fire. He doesn't have a target that he's looking at. And again, if you do not highly ingrain that your trigger finger needs to be high and along the slide of the firearm when you have not made the decision to fire, then in the moment you could put yourself at risk. Now, thankfully, you didn't have a negligent discharge here, but very dangerous. Can't tell you enough. Drill those rules of firearm safety until they are absolutely second nature and you do them unconsciously, friends. Now then, let's follow up. He needed his first aid
he
kit
just
on
keeps
him here.
going.
Needed to get himself into a better place. And again, I love the fact that his boss is like, okay, I need to do something here. So he's going to go and get the...
Jesus Christ, though, man. I didn't even see him, get the shot off on that guy. God damn. It's okay, he's wearing, black and stuff, so we couldn't see it.
I really prefer him here get some medical on his buddy.
This bot is so
instead,
gone.
what is he going to do? He is going to run off
But these
here and go
videos are on
chase these
YouTube and they're
bad
not
guys
age
down.
restricted,
Looks
so.
like he's pulling his pants up, maybe even
I think I'm
putting
fine.
that gun away in the small of the back. I don't recommend that. Don't chase fleeing felons. Chase these guys out into the parking lot, and they could be setting up a counter ambush there, trying to get in the car.
Just
could have
lock the
another
doors,
accomplice.
man.
See people get hurt all the
Lock
time
the
doing
doors
that.
and call the
Don't run
police.
out there. If you're going to lock the doors, that's fine, but instead consolidate the place in the win. This clerk did a fine job. He survived this pretty...
Ideally, I feel like if it depends on the layout of the store, right? But if you can just get to the doors and lock them real quick, I feel like that's one thing. Going out and chasing them, very stupid idea. Ideally, if you have a back room or something you can get into, like a back storage room, that's probably your best bet, right? Because these are glass doors that you're putting yourself out to. Those guys could be sitting right there outside. They could fucking pull the gun on you and start shooting at you, right? Not worth putting yourself in the line of fire
fight,
again.
Stayed in the fight emotionally, won the fight for the guns in the moment, put a shot on target, and kept defending himself. And, thankfully, it looks like he's going to make a full recovery. Full props to him for covering
1 in
his
3
ass.
of all Pippa VODs get deleted. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna end it off there. You're too scared for your life to go into the back rooms. Oh my god, the memes. Jackie, thank you for the 420. If I have to shoot through a crowd of people to defend myself, it's 2 a.m. It's a self-defense situation. I'm not going to be happy about the devastation, but I will be happy that I've defended my own life. Man. Pepe a la Squid, thank you for the $5. I'm glad I live in a stand your ground state. Thanks, Mace Rabbit. Ascended Weed, thank you for $2. Base streamer giving out good life advice. Go shower. I already showered today, so haha. Spider Dude, thank you for the $5. Whack a potential robber or whack a Karen. What's the issue? Legal fees. Nah, thank you for becoming a bit pippy. So where do I pick up my black belt in purse defense? Oh my god. I think I'm caught up. Winstrom, thank you for the 234. You are a tough bunny. You got them skills. Mr. Yura, thank you. Wait, I read that. I think you're good. Zeke, sir, thank you for becoming a big peepee. Alright, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I feel like this was kind of an interesting stream. A little bit of a react stream, but I feel like we also did some other stuff to kind of make up for it, like the Kahoot and had a real good discussion. I enjoyed it. And again, you can always at me on Twitter if you're like, Pippa, you said something really stupid. I think you need to do another stream and you need to clear up what you said. You give people terrible advice, whatever. Because this is such a like intense and heavy topic, I tried to only talk about things that are like I know, right? Like things that I'm confident in saying. Good luck with names. 540 viewers. Oh god. But this is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a rabbit. And every self-defense situation is different. And you should always be sure to educate yourself. And there's no harm in getting trained in things, alright? Listen. Instead of taking a vacation, how about you take a self-defense class? You're getting out of the house, you're still doing things. You missed my dono. I'm sorry, Rapid Wisconsin. I don't see it. Beat Agent, thank you for becoming a big pee-pee. Background noise, thank you for $2. I'm gonna go yell at this dude, no problem. Not thank you for the $1. Your door doesn't have power locks that lock themselves when you start the ignition. I have an old ass Camry that does it. Spider Dude, thank you for $10. More Pippa streams, don't threaten me with a good time. Bronca, Pippa collab win. I am totally up for collabing with these kinds of people, right? Listen, if we can talk about these things and just not bring up politics and not bring up like other people, basically, I'm allowed to do them. Which can be very difficult with some people. I'm not like signaling anyone like singling anybody out or anything, right? But like I know myself, I am a bit of a loose cannon, so. Not one of us thinking about 333. Henry Chan of 9 Hole Reviews is a weeb. He might actually be up for a collab with you. Rapid Wisconsin, I do not see your dono. I'm very sorry. Jimmy Dad, thank you for $2. Chad Thunderpip rolls up on you in the club, slaps Spider Bro on the ass, and says, "Cute lisp, Pippers. How do you defend yourself?" Oh my god. Rapid Wisconsin, you wanna just say what you said before, and I'll read it off. Mods, can you post it in the mod chat if I miss it? I'm gonna bring up some music, and we're gonna read off names. We're gonna read off names! As is per tradition, I read off the names of everybody who types in the chat of the stream. You have to type every 2 minutes, or Susan does not count you as being a participant, so people towards the end of the alphabet I tend to miss. I'm sorry. It's your name disappears way too quickly. Alright. There you go, on point song. Thank you so much for stopping by. Oh, Anime Document, thank you for the... Oh my god. Shit, I missed it. Thank you for the $2. Bring forth the Nyx and the Razor Fist. Okay, thank you for stopping by! Also cringe! Cunning Gang 1-3, Actual Prisoner, Aegis and Under the Destroyer, Animal Friend Part 2, Anime Document, Anime is Not Cool, Inertion, Archive Bro, Archivist Sama, Anthony Pincelli, Archivist Sama, oh I already said that, Arid, Ascended Weeb, Atomic Steam Engine, Authentic Anori Fox, Osoiru, Ailamal, Azehara, Azul, Background Noise, Banana Cup, Beta Up, Beef Pie, Billy, Dura, Dispio, Berserk Rage, Big Galley, Big Guy, Billy Bob, Billy Witch Doctor, DJ Munch, BL4, Bloody Overdrive, Boggers, Bong of Destiny, Bored Undead, Grego Experience, Boskov, Brandon, Brian Lane, Bug Meter, C14 Dog, C Moose, Call Me Fail, Paticus, Cayento Amos, Charlie, Chixnex, Church Cheeto, Cypher, Cody, Conspiracy Cat, Convery, Cobroller, Crab Supremacy Advocate, Crash, Fist Fight, Crazy Ashtray, or Aztec, Crippling Insomnia, Crocodillinate, Kurt Wood, D19, Darstoop, David Williams, Dead Mac Gaming, Demomo, Devil Headman, Diego Quailer, Dr. Scorpio, Don Druid, Duck Dick, Dulark, Dust Weaver, Endwar, Epic FT, Eric Jimenez, Eris Famewood, FC Playthrough, Freedom Extremist, Freeze, Fuckle Knuckle, Gmo, Gasly Gus, Guess, Gear Master Gear, Gigadramon, GK Alert, Goblin Slayer, Google Plus X Balls, Gooey and Green, Monaco, Guedas, hand over your Kilbasa and nobody gets hurt. Hank, Helion 1, Helljet, Easy Long, I am Jack, Suffocating Nihilism, I Live Again, I Love Forgets, I Don't Have Videos 1 Fact Man, or I Fact Man, Imperfection, Isaac, Yellow Shot, Jackass, Jackie, James Bond, James Jameson, James Reed, Jazine Harrell, Jefferson Oliveira, Jillso, JVJ, Jill710, Joanna N, Joe Schmo, John Garrison, Johnson Brains, Jordan H, Junior Autumn, Ryan, Kandrella, Kano Misu, Cantor Spectre, Khan Rafa, Karn the Defender, Kyle, Killer King, King Crimson, King Crab Cakes, Kizna Hentai, Nai, Kayume, K Severo, Kuro Kamui, Laggy Vulture, Lace, Limo, Lemonade, Leonardo Loa, Logan, Lol No, Lonesome Mesa, Low Speed, Magical Girl Hunter, Magapado, Man Wars, Mantarock, Marcus Vinicus, Master Hellion, Mateza, Matthew McKiller, Max Capacitor, Mayday, Mick B, Mick L, Mech, Mr. Chewy, Mr. Yura, Mitchell Bader, Misahashi Takashi, Mono Boy, Moon Berserker, Mr. Mannequin, Mountain Entertainment, MT Taylor, Lumberthrax, and 33, Nasty McOutplay, Nene is our wife, no name, no accounting for taste, not one of us, no talent, no lump. Oddwin, Onion Wizard, Ozone, Pablo the Sloth, Partially Impartial, Pedro G, Palbo, Perfect Paradox, Parokami, T-Fletch, Pharaoh Shuffle, Pigorino, Pill Age, Pink Popo, Pippa's Strongest Soldier, Pixel Rush, Planter San Sama, Plastic Ghost, Pump Pump, Pop Wow Lulz, Red 00, Preserving Light, Pres Madagascar, Prolitator, Frog Champ, Questionable Orange Juice, Raft is Trash, Raichu, Red Remover, Rexarada, Richard Returns, Rob H. Oh, the song ended. There you go. Rodrigo Seraphine, Ragnar, Rogue Gen, Romulus, Rudoka, Rocklick Lines, Rusty Shackleford, Rusty Raw, Radian, Ryuka, Salamandra, Sam, Scale Stepper, SCS, Scud, Sebastian Zerez, Secret Secret, Sealand Fuchs, Sigma Zero, Skin Rip, Skype, Slayer, Raven, Snuggly Snake, Sulfur X, Sonic Shaker, Saltmont Senior, Spark, Sparky, Spasmo, Spider Dude, Spoiled Dragon, Spoon, Stephen Fratty, Strawberry Pella, Super Iron Bob, SXS, System 64, EXE, Tanko Tater, Now Twist, Ted P, Tawuli, Tempo, Tentacle, Tater Guy, That Video Game Freak, the freaking Frogs, the Jested One, the Sweatistani Hobo, the Sword Art Online Deck Writing Association, the Cool 2T, the Cyber Police, the Dragon D8, Tiberium Gaming, Trellis, Trigger Z, Skinakaji, Turbo, Tyler Durden, Tyrone, the Vakang, Uncle Banus, Unintentionally Dramatic, Vapid Wisconsin, Vash, William, Wagner, Vulcan, Walking Phoenix, Warwi, Tanuki, Washi, Webam Aristocrat, White Red, Wiggy Ton, William Endel, Wills, Windsor, Womo, Winscom, Apple Strudel, Zenwar, Zingo, XYZ, Y2N, Yahtzee, Yana Verb, Johan Zeta, Your Friend, Yo Hellion, Zachary Pumpkin, Zeke, Sarai, Zenith, Zero Root, Z-Star, a Trash Can, Apostrophe, Continuum, Blank Person, and a little dash. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I missed your name. Thank you for stopping by, Ultra Cringe, and I will see you guys on Friday. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow as well. But more excitingly, I'll see you on Friday. I'll be interviewing another industry insider. We'll be talking about Blizzard. Ultra Cringe! Oh my god! Secret karaoke end screen! Be sure to click off if you hate bad karaoke. If you hate bad karaoke, you better fucking click off right now because we're about to do bad karaoke. Hell yeah. Alright, what song should we do? What? Secret karaoke end screen! Doesn't know what she's doing. Oh wait, she's not to the left. Shot through the hut! Oh my god. That's fucked up. Pip about to lose 390 viewers! Oh, rifle by your side. I feel like I've already done that one quite a bit. But I can try. I need to find the lyrics! They'll look high and they'll look low. They'll look everywhere we go. But when the sinners find us, we won't hide. They'll come loud and they'll come fast, but we shoot first and we can last. Keep your rifle by your side. Singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. So we'll take a stand, 'cause we must protect our land. Keep your rifle by your side. They'll come day and they'll come night. They'll have our children in their sights. But if they don't have faith, their eyes are blind. They can scream and they can shout, but they can never smoke us out. Keep your rifle by your side. Singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. When we hear the voice, we know we have no other choice. Keep your rifle by your side. They'll have bombs and they'll have tanks, 'cause they've got money in their banks. But we won't fall as long as we can fight. They'll want to reach their hate. They won't get past the gate. Keep your rifle by your side. Singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. When I see your face, I know I must protect my place. Keep my rifle by my side. Singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. When I see your face, I know I must protect my place. Keep my rifle by my side. Keep my rifle by my side. Keep your rifle by your side. Good night, chat. Can I raid people yet? I don't think I can. Why does everybody else in Face Connect have the ability to raid other people, and I do not? What the hell, man? Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.